Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you only have 3 minutes now.
Okay. Are we ready? You all ready?
Not so small.
In other words, call quick.
Are you doing this?
Okay, we want to welcome you all tonight to our Hermosa Town Board special meeting. We will be having a big meeting tonight, so we do ask you all to be please polite and courteous in what we're doing and as far as what we're addressing. If you need to talk in amongst yourselves, we would ask you to please go outside so you don't disrupt the rest of the meeting. We'll go through everything as far as what we're going to be doing for the public hearings tonight, reading of the resolutions. We'll have discussion with the board first, our attorney, our engineer, to go through everything. Then at that time, any public input will be asked for at that time. We do run our meetings as a school classroom where we raise our hands and be acknowledged that way. You don't have to hold your hand up. I'm going to know that you're there now. We will call on you, and I appreciate all of that. We appreciate everybody being here for what we're going to have for this gathering. It's a very important meeting, a lot of information, and we appreciate everybody being here. So with that being said, I will move forward with the Hermosa Town Board regular meeting Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022 at 6 p.m. Roll call: Hendrickson.
Here.
Holsworth here. Kramer.
Here.
Schumacher.
Here.
We appreciate our engineer, our attorney Johnson being here, finance officer, public works, and all of the crowd. So we do have a sign-up sheet. We hope everybody got signed up, so we have all that acknowledgement for the finance officer and attendees here tonight. So we appreciate that. Would like everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. What a great crowd on that part. That's enjoyable. Thank you.
Old school.
Yes, it is. I like that part the best. All right. Being stated at 6:02, we will start our public hearing. In the beginning of our public hearing, we are going to read the resolutions, each item going through before we go any farther.
There's going to be 3 separate public hearings.
Okay?
Per resolution.
3 separate, correct.
Yes. So you need a motion to go into a public hearing to address resolution 03/2/2022.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Kramer, second by Hendrickson. I have no further discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you all. And we may read that first resolution.
Okay, just for the audience, the resolutions are read in full by state statute, so bear with me, it'll be a few minutes. Resolution 03-2022, resolution of intent to annex contiguous property. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Town of Hermosa has statutory authority conducted a study pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 9-4-1.1 prior to holding the public hearing required as part of a municipality-initiated annexation of property, and whereas the Town of Hermosa duly appointed engineer ASIS has completed the annexation study required by that law, and whereas that annexation study is focused upon the platted contiguous of the two portions of the present boundary of the Town of Hermosa, all contained within Section 29 and Section 30, Township 2 South, Range 8 East, Custer County, South Dakota, and whereas those subject properties are within the area where the growth of the Town of Hermosa can be accommodated to provide for the orderly growth and development of the Town of Hermosa, and whereas a map of the areas subject to this resolution is attached as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by this reference, now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees for the Town of Hermosa hereby declares an intent to annex the following contiguous territory. The territory, number one, the territory subject to this resolution of intent to annex contiguous property consists of platted non-agricultural territory as defined at South Dakota Codified Law 9-4-5 and South Dakota Codified Law 10-6-31 as follows. Description: Lot B1 of Fairgrounds Place subdivision of Lot B located in the northeast 1/4 of Section 32, Township 2 South, Range 8, east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plat filed in Book 12 of Plats, page 267. B. Lot B2 and B3 of Fairgrounds Place subdivision of Lot B located in the northeast 1/4 of Section 32, Township 2 South, Range 8, east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Book 12 of Plats, page 267, subject to covenants, restrictions, declarations, reservations, rights-of-way, and easements of record, if any. Lot C of replat of Lot A in the northeast 1/4 of Section 32, Township 2 South, Range 8, east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plat filed in Plat Book 2, page 139 in the Office of the Register of Deeds of Custer County, South Dakota. D. Lot 1A of Lot 1 of Lot D of Lot A of the northeast quarter of Section 32 in Township 2 south of Range 8 east in the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Book 4 of Plats, page 47. E. Lot 2A as described in replat of Lot 1 of Lot D of Lot A into Lot 1A and 2A of Lot 1 of Lot D of Lot 1A, located in the northeast 1/4 of Section 32, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota. F. Lot 2 of Lot D of Lot A in the northeast quarter of Section 32 in Township 2 south of Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, as shown on the plat filed in Plat Book 4, page 14. G. Wayner Tract 2 of northeast 1/4, Section 32, T2S, RAE, Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, together with all improvements and appurtenances thereon and subject to easements, rights-of-way, restrictions, reservations, declarations, and covenants of record. H. Wayner Tract 1 and Wayner Tract 2 of northeast quarter, Section 32, T2S, RAE, Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, formerly Lot 1 of northeast 1/4, Section 32. Negebauer Tract 2 and 3, located in east 1/2, northeast 1/4, Section 32, T2S, R80, Black Hills Meridian, Custer County. J. PT of west to east to northeast 4th, Section 32, T2, R8, MHBLS, Negebauer Tract 3, located in east 1/2, north 1/4, Section 32, T2S, R80, Black Hills Meridian, Custer County. K. Section 29, part of southwest 1/4 of northeast 1/4, part of northwest 1/4 of southeast 1/4, north 1/2 of northeast 1/4, balance of south 1/2 of southeast 1/4 of southeast 1/4, parentheses, less lot St. Michael's and lot Legion of North Corral subdivision, lot access in G&G subdivision in southwest 1/4 of northeast 1/4. L. Lot St. Michael's of North Corral subdivision located in the south 1/2, southeast 1/4 of Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Book 12 of Plats, page 6145, together with all improvement and appurtenances thereon and subject to easements, rights-of-way, restrictions, reservations, declarations, and covenants of record. M. Lot Legion of North Corral subdivision located in the south 1/2, southeast 1/4 of Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Book 12 of Plats, page 614, together with all improvement and appurtenances thereon, and subject to easements, rights-of-way, restrictions, reservations, declarations, and covenants of record. Number 2, that ample and suitable resources exist to accommodate the orderly growth and development of the contiguous territories as evidenced by the town of Hermosa's current provision of many of the town of Hermosa's services to the areas and consistent with the annexation study. Number 3, the estimated difference in tax assessment rate for the residents in the contiguous territory is 0.32%. Number 4, that exclusions or irregularities in municipal boundary lines are not the result of arbitrariness, but are based upon existing geographical features, physical barriers, existing property boundaries, existing occupancies and uses, and existing municipal boundaries. Number 5, that there is reasonable present and demonstrable future need for annexing the contiguous territories in accordance with the annexation study. And number 6, that population and census data indicate that the municipality has or may experience growth or development beyond its present boundaries. Number 7, there exists a community of interest between the contiguous territories as described above and the town of Hermosa. Now therefore be it resolved that as a result of this resolution of intent to annex contiguous properties, the town of Hermosa has completed the first step to change the corporate limits of the town of Hermosa so that the same may be extended to include the above described properties. Dated this 3rd day of May. Oh, okay, all right.
Thank you. That was a long one, of the short of the 3.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Johnson.
Well, you just open up the floor for discussion.
Okay,
And I would limit it to the people that are concerned with this particular resolution, not everybody. We gotta do them separately. So I'm not sure which one this pertains to.
This is Fairgrounds Place.
Okay, well, if there's any comments on Fairgrounds Place, have at it.
yes, sir. And if it's easier, you can speak from where you're
I
at.
have some documents for you guys if you'd
Thank
like to
you.
review them. Sure. I made copies. I think I made, I'm gonna keep one for myself so I can look at it, but I made 6 here.
Can you announce your name,
Yeah,
please?
sorry, I'm Scott James. I met you guys before when, I live at Paramount Point, so I don't live, here, but I'm representing 2 of your residents there in this annexation area B, which are Richard Stenson and Leo Van Sandbeck. They've retained me to represent them in this matter, so.
Thank you.
And I'll speak louder when we get to that, so I just want to get everybody to.
Oh, thank you.
Member of the board here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You on the board or?
Yes.
I got one more if you want it. Sure. How about it? So, yeah, obviously there's a lot of people here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, with these objections because they've been really detailed. One of my clients, Mr. Van Sandbeck, is an engineer himself. So he went through your report, the ACES report, in a lot of detail. He has a lot of objections to it. I think the primary objections would be the water issues, that the calculations that he believed were done incorrectly. They don't account for future capacity. They only state the current capacity, and they measure it in terms of connections rather than population, which he says that was an error. So those 2 issues with the water calculations, he believes, mean that the calculations are virtually useless because they don't tell you what the future capacity of this water is for your growing population. So he thinks that needs to be looked at a lot more closely before you proceed. Number 2, the wastewater issues. I've not been here hearing you guys. I'm sure you've talked something about your wastewater issues, but he thinks that compared to your water descriptions, the wastewater descriptions in your report were not specific at all. They didn't talk about your lagoon's capacity to how much they could hold. They talk about monthly or daily sewage inflow rates, how much you're actually building, in those lagoons per day or per month or whatever it is. So what's the time frame on how long these lagoons are expected to be useful, and when are you gonna have to expand them? Because those are not in your study at all either. So those are other things that he thinks are wrong with your report that need to be addressed. And it says this is particularly important because you had the recent letter from Department of Natural Resources saying, hey, you got to fix this issue that resulted in that article in the paper or whatever. So I just summarized that for you there, but so I'm sure you're all well aware of that. Additionally, just their own personal reasons against it. I also included a map of the FEMA flood zone there. So as you're going, toward east, toward this area, I kind of just outlined it there, B. You can't go much further. Once you go any further, you're kind of into that flood area. So it's not, your town's kind of growing northerly. But it's not going to grow much further east unless you're doing some serious, Dutch-style dikes or something, to get through this flood, area. So it's not a natural area of growth because once you get to them, you're kind of done. It's not going to go any further that direction.
But this issue isn't dealing with Fairgrounds Place Road itself, which that's what we're in the positioning of the hearing now on that portion of it. That is in.
They're in Area
a
B.
whole different
They're in this description here.
Okay,
So this includes the Legion and the church there. So all of that's what I'm trying to indicate with that shaded area. There
with the old dairy tributary.
Yes, that's right. So all of that. So this should be the correct area that I'm referring to there. The last thing they mentioned is the report kind of makes some glossy statements about that they're getting certain services in exchange for being annexed. They talk about that they're getting fire and police. But right now you don't have police really because you're contracting with the sheriff's office, so it's really the same service they're getting regardless. And the fire is a volunteer organization run by Battle Creek, and I don't think the town contributes to that. Maybe I'm wrong. They weren't sure, but I didn't think that you guys paid any monies into the fire, but could be wrong. The other thing is they have an existing road district, so they feel like that's taken care of for any of the roads that are not. I think Fairgrounds Place Road is already in your town limits, so you're already maintaining that road, so that won't change. But as far as any other roads in that area, they're contained in that road district. And they also mentioned that the road district is outside of the area as well, so the persons who are in the road district but are not being annexed are going to be disadvantaged because now they're not going to have that tax base for their road district, and they're going to have to maintain the roads with as fewer people, basically, with a smaller group. So that's something they wanted to point out. And lastly, again, I'm trying to just summarize here, but they also do have offices. They serve as officers of the senior center, and they feel like there are concerns there that you didn't address with them, I guess. They wish there'd been more dialogue, I think, with the senior center because they're going to be in the Legion there. I guess they've been staying there and operating there. So they are concerned about, they get a stipend, I guess, per year from the county, $1,500 a year. And they're concerned that might go away if the county feels like, hey, it's no longer a county problem, it's in the city limits, are you guys going to basically help with that or not? They're just concerned about that. I don't know if it's something I wanted to note. They feel like that needs to be thought about some. They're also concerned about adding the sales tax on top of senior meals and those kind of things that might raise the prices for the senior meals, those kind of things. So that's something they were concerned about, as well as the liquor licenses that would be involved in those establishments. So I think that's generally what I have. I mean, there's more in this, that I don't want to, take up all the time. So there's more in here if you want to read it, in a detailed way. But those are the objections they want to lodge. Make sure you're aware of them. And again, we know that there's a second vote coming, so you have time to read this. You have time to ask them questions. You have time to have that dialogue. But we think these issues need to be looked at a lot more carefully before you vote to annex Area B. They do note that if residents in other of these areas, like your Gumbo Lily residents and those kind of things, they say they fully support it if people are wanting to voluntarily be annexed and they're saying, hey, we want to be part of this town of Hermosa, they support that. They're saying for our area, we don't want to, we don't want to do that. So we're not trying to say other people don't have their right to join. If they want to do that, we support them. But for our area, Area B, we have these concerns, and we're not ready to join, and we don't want to. So that's their objections.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.
Next.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm Ed Lesnick, live on Fairgrounds Place. So, in the annexation report, table 6, talked about a 3-year average of the unaccounted water, and then made it sound like it was slightly above average for a municipality. That was intentionally misleading to the residents of this town because those 3 years increased. And now we're at actually 40% for 2021. So we're significantly above average for unaccounted water. And it's already well known because as of May, and also before back in March, the town is supposed to be fined $10,000 a day for their leaks that haven't been fixed and they're dumping into the wastewater lagoon.
No,
So
sir, that
the
is
waste,
not
I'm
an
talking.
accurate statement, please, so,
Well, we have public record reports.
thank you.
So anyway, there's leaks that are overflowing the lagoon. It's over capacity. You are land applying it into our backyard more often than you're supposed to, and that's part of the reason why you're being fined. Now, you want to increase our taxes to hook up all of us that are on septics onto the city sewer, and it says on pages 6 and 7 that it's for an environmental benefit. Environmental benefit for us to connect to the sewer instead of remaining on our septics. But the lagoon is already over capacity because of how Chuck and Chuck 2, his buddy,
Excuse
are
me.
land applying.
Excuse me.
I'm not done.
No personal representation, no, sir.
This is very important. You want us, you're using a moral argument against us, trying to guilt us for using septic systems in this report, where you are saying that we should be hooking up to sewer for an environmental benefit. That's a moral argument. It doesn't even make sense because if the lagoon's already over capacity, adding residents to that lagoon, which is already over capacity and having to flood into our backyard already, is illogical. It's not an environmental benefit. So I want to know what you're doing to fix these leaks, and frankly, these leaks need to be fixed before you even consider annexing us in and increasing our taxes to pay for something that you have poorly maintained yourselves over the last couple decades. Additionally, the annexation study talked about a new well, quote unquote, that went in 2004. That's currently inactive. And then, you know, I'm an engineer too. I understand how these numbers, like the past attorney just said, these calculations are so improper and misleading. And you're talking about adding new residents to something when back in 2004 you put in a new well to compensate for the expected growth. If that's already down, then what happened? Are you saying that there's less growth anticipated now than there was back in 2004? It doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. You got to fix these services and make us feel comfortable with adding people to them before you tax us to pay for your own lack of maintenance. So, and we're not getting anything for this. We're not getting anything for this. Like, you're not paving our road, you're not updating the lagoon, you're not fixing the well, you're not fixing the leaks. You want us to pay for something we're not even getting. Like, what are you doing with our tax money? You are corrupt as hell, Santa Claus. Look at that freaking Santa Claus beard. Look at him.
And that's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Excuse me, if you're going to continue the personal situations, we're here for the public
Bottom
hearing,
line.
for a professional,
Bottom line,
excuse me,
First
sir.
Amendment. First
Excuse me.
Amendment. No, you gotta know that we have absolutely had it. This is a small town and you don't have to be corrupt. You could be an
But-
example. You could be an example for America and say, hey, let's bring in manufacturing here to pay for these problems. Let's have Dollar General actually get a permit, okay, for their sewer, but they don't. This town is built on corrupt favors, political favors.
Appreciate it.
Everyone here knows it.
Your public.
And that guy right there, Wayner, you gave him a favor. You gave him a favor, you covered up his lies.
It cost me money.
And God knows it, buddy. God knows it. And we know it. All of us know it.
Thank you for your input.
You're welcome.
You're done,
You're
sir.
welcome. Yep. Right on, you fake cowboy.
Hey,
That guy's a
hey,
fake
hey,
cowboy.
if you're going to continue this,
He's
we'll
a
ask
phony.
you
Hey, if it
to,
costs you 60 grand.
we're going to bring this to order. This isn't.
I said what I had to say.
River President.
And this dude is a
Excuse me.
freaking drunk.
Seth,
He's a
You
drunk and
will-
he's in charge of all our services.
Seth, take them
You have a
out.
right to your opinion, you don't have a right to insult people.
Remove
Be
them.
civil.
Don't touch me.
He asked to
Don't
answer.
touch me. You're on camera.
Remove them.
So,
I want to go. I don't want to
Be
look
civil
anymore.
with these guys,
For the
okay?
truth?
please,
You're kicking us
I
out
want
for the truth?
No, I want to leave, but everyone here knows it and they're too afraid to speak up. But they're here to
Yeah,
say
'cause
their
you walk
opinion.
over and go, whoa,
But
whoa,
guess what?
whoa.
I'm not afraid to speak up the truth, okay? I'm not afraid.
Okay, I have a next
we're
question.
gonna bring this meeting back to order.
Oh,
And if
it's
we
in
don't
order.
have it
I
back
think
to
you guys
order, I'm
need
gonna
to-
ask our
No,
board
I got a problem.
to make a motion to have these
I have a
people removed.
question.
Yeah, bring it on. Kick us out, please.
Do I have a motion?
No,
I have
it's
a
our First
motion that they
Amendment
be
right.
removed because they won't bring it back to order. We have a second by Kramer. Further discussion within the board? If none, please all vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So please, we would ask you to please leave the meeting
What about,
as
I
we
have
brought
a
it
note.
back to order. And if you don't,
I have a
we will have
question.
law enforcement.
I'll
We will
go.
do.
I was the one talking. I'll
No,
go.
ma'am.
You're gonna kick me
No,
out? I have a
ma'am.
question.
I brought the meeting back to order.
I have a question.
And I will continue to bring the meeting back to order. This gentleman was out of order.
Ryan?
Wouldn't bring it into order.
Can I give you a question to ask them on my behalf?
No, ma'am. You
Yes,
have
I
not been
can.
acknowledged on the floor.
Ryan, can I ask you? I
Ma'am.
wanna ask him, he told us in the meeting
Ma'am.
before that we could keep our agriculture,
Ma'am,
Hey,
but it
you
doesn't
have
say it
not been
anywhere.
acknowledged
So get
on
that
the
in
floor,
writing.
you've made
ma'am.
your point, okay?
Yeah.
Right
We
now,
want
you
to keep
got
our
this
horses. You're going to
organized
kick out our horses and then increase our taxes.
You're a
You're going to take away our rights and then increase our taxes.
Mr. Thompson,
Come on, guys, you made
please,
your point. Right now,
You're
you're
gonna
voting on this.
bring this back to order.
Okay.
Don't be afraid, guys. Speak up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our world.
And that's what's
Sorry.
moving us.
Okay, we'll bring it back to order, thank you. I'm sorry for that disruption on that portion of it. Like we say, we're here for the Fairgrounds Place. There was a lot of objection that was brought up in that last statement that, of course, wasn't true. For anybody that's been involved in the community in the last year and seen what we went through with our facilities plans, what's been put into this report for the engineering, as far as them bringing it up, the lagoon isn't overflowing. The lagoon isn't taking on extra infrastructure, as we've just had Pace company down here that just did all the jetting, cameraing, everything on that was found that the percentage of infiltration was like under 5% of what we had coming through it. So we don't have that problem. As far as our upper well goes, the gentleman also, if he would have been involved in some of our previous facility plans, the upper well did have a higher radium level on it. And if anybody's read or kept up on Custer County's Chronicle, what we have been granted from Custer County Commissioners is a grant for $500,000 for a WRT system to correct that radium problem. And that is in the works as soon as the ARPA money, which is the federal stimulus money, is issued. And that has also been in the works for over a year. If anybody else has paid attention to the DANR, we just had facilities plan that went there for the meeting for our application that went in for our well, as well as our lagoon. And what happened on that portion of it is, we were approved for our lagoon expansion, which our study has went into to calculate that out. In that expansion, it also included infrastructure for Gumbo Lily. It included septic tanks of anything left on as far as Fairgrounds Place Road. And at that cost, of course, all within the project. So lagoon expansion is into play also on that portion of it. And as far as our drainage situations go within the community, they've been addressed also. We've been working closely with Rural Water, South Dakota Rural Water, on all of that. We're still in conversation with them and working it through. But our whole big basis is, we know that our whole world is being, in South Dakota, expanded with what's happened since COVID. And I fully feel, since that portion, that it has taken us to another level. Our governor, in a good way and a bad way, has produced a lot of positives for South Dakota. And so we're gonna see that growth pattern going on and the development coming at us. What do we have to be prepared for? Accepting development and growth in a good way. And by our expansions of what we're doing for our community and trying to keep our levels of our costs down for our community is what this expansion has been. So for those that aren't aware of it, through all these studies, through all that we've done to put these facility plans together, we have been approached by Southern Black Hills Water to annex, or regionalize, I should say, with them. And so many people don't understand that a regionalization of what this board, which this board is a part-time board after work, trying to do the best for our community, make decisions for our community, as well as our professionals and our public works. And I'm not gonna stand here and take anybody being rude or putting down any of the members of this board as well as our public works. I will have the same action. But as what we've done, and I will get back to you, ma'am, with regionalization and why we've done our own thing, is that I don't think people have read what was awarded to Southern Black Hills Water, whom are gonna serve Doffenbaugh Road or Spring Creek development. And their water rates are now gonna go to $126 a month for just their water for 7,000 gallons. What we've tried to do is keep that within our community, where our basically water rates with our new well project, if we get that established, which we have a meeting Monday with DA&R on that, and Black Hills Council of Local Government, our engineer, to go through that. That water project will be at $19 more per user. Not $100, $19. Our sewer project in the lagoon expansion is gonna be where it was gonna be at $17. Now that we found out that we gotten the reward, which in that $1.2 million project, I believe was the total on that overall, we got $350,000 grant, which lowers that user rate down to $14 instead of $17. We're hoping we get the same assistance in what we're doing in the water project also. So if you add them two together with even at the 19 and the 14, is much less than the $128 if we have to be forced to regionalize. That's what this board's been fighting for the last 2 years. And that's what we've been fighting for this community. And we've done nothing but support this community. We're not against this community. Annexation is a protection level that we've worked hard towards. And I know change is always the hardest thing that we have in a community. And this isn't something that we are ever easy about doing, and it's not a pleasure for anybody. But as development continues, and we aren't protected with subdivision ordinances, we aren't protected with regulations that we have within the community, you have no protection levels. And that goes with the law enforcement to what we have for abatements to what we have in the town. And as far as the structures go, that portion of it is big for us to protect quality of life. In the annexation portion of it, the conditions of what you have presently on uses of your property are not changing. Your properties are staying at the same uses, whether that be agricultural, whether that be horse property. We as a board created another zoning called residential ag to protect everybody in the community and to protect their present uses. And that means if you sell that property, that zoning doesn't change. It transfers with the new owner. And it only brings the values of your properties up to another level. Anytime you have municipal utilities hooked up to your properties, it increases property values and increases that section of it. And I know it's difficult for those that have been in their positions as what they are and their living standards now to look at them changes. It's something I know it's always difficult, and it's difficult for us. But as I say, it will come around us and it will engulf us and it will take us over. And if we don't have the foresight to be ahead of it and ready for it, it will cost us more in the long run. Is there further comment from Fairgrounds? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I swore I was not gonna say anything tonight.
Well, we're happy you did.
You go.
You've been a long-time citizen and member, so.
I'm Wyoming Leonard, and I live on Fairgrounds Place. I very much appreciate my neighbors. And I came tonight because I really do want to learn. I appreciate the logical concerns and questions that Scott presented. And I guess I decided to say something because for me personally, just me, I would find value in being annexed. First of all, I'd be able to use the refuge bins down there for the yard jug. Well, right now, I'm out of town, so I can't, even though I am on both city sewer and city water, both of which would have a decrease if I became a resident, from what I understand. It would be wonderful if our minimum gallons would be increased. You just mentioned 7,000 gallons.
That was with rural water, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just throwing that in.
Yep.
That would be really nice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can actually
agree.
water my dandelions. And so savings on water. I want to address two things that I've heard as rumors and to reinforce what Gail read. The tax increase percent is 0.32. It's not a 32% increase that was bandied about that I heard before. I called Custer County and got an estimate of what it would mean to me, and the offset of what I would save on water and sewer still leaves me a whole lot more in the green. And then lastly, I get to vote. Thank you.
You can run.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate
No.
that. Anybody else from Fairgrounds Place Road?
Yeah.
Just Fairgrounds Place.
Yes, that would be me, Pamela Summerbolt, neighbor and neighbor. So I, as much as I love you, I am against, I know that, and I would like this on the record, I had thought that I wanted to be annexed in until I learned that things will change and not to my benefit as a homeowner. I am, 0.32 is 32%. Am I right?
No,
No.
Zero,
No.
3, 2.
I saw 0.32.
Yeah, it's not.
Right, and that's less than 0.5%.
It's 0.32. 0.32. So I'm not good at math. Everybody, 0.32 is what percent?
Less than 1/2.
0.3%.
0.32. 32. So what was that calculate on $4,000 you pay annual on taxes?
Mitch has got a calculator, I
Okay.
think, going.
I was wanting to know my tax increase if I threw out a 4,000 tax. Let's say I'm paying 4,000 a year. What's my increase?
If you call the county, they'll estimate it for you.
It's $13.
$13? I'm gonna call the county. Yeah, thank you.
Based on your assessed value.
Please,
On my
ma'am.
assessed value, okay.
We got
But
3
anyway,
minutes
I
per-
want, I'm sorry?
We have 3 minutes per person, so please.
Okay, so, but I want it on the record, I want my name removed off of the wanted to be annexed, I still don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not on Fairgrounds Place, are you?
Oh, no, but I have something to say about the lagoon.
Well, we appreciate that, but that'll have to come in the regular meeting under Public Works.
Oh.
Right now, we're in a public hearing for Fairgrounds Place Road, Gumbo Lily, and that, so I appreciate it, thank you. Anybody else from Fairgrounds Place? Yes, sir.
So it says, like every other one that you read in there, in that paper that Gail read from, which I can bring up right here, that it has to go with covenants. Covenants for the city,
Pardon?
covenants for the, from the city. You'd be part of the city covenants, correct?
Correct.
So that's pay for your dogs, so you're losing the money there for everybody that has a dog, right? You gotta have license your dog.
Correct.
Okay, so you're licensing all your dogs. So my neighbor that's not here, that has 5 barking dogs that barked for 45 minutes before I got here, has to license every one of them dogs?
Correct.
And then who's here to take care of that barking dog?
Our law enforcement.
Seth, do you take care of dogs
When I'm called to.
when you're called to?
File a complaint.
It's part of the abatement process, which you are also then part of that abatement process.
Okay. And so what are the restrictions and covenants?
Our normal ordinances, which are all on the website. And as far as our subdivision ordinances, which you guys don't apply, our normal building permits, our normal zoning, which you're already zoned residential ag. So pretty much everything that's on our website that the rest of us all comply with, it will be your same aspects of it. And then it does, as Wyona said, gives you the ability to vote and run for town board and be involved with up here.
Okay.
So we'd appreciate that. And the
then-
involvement with P and Z to the involvement of anything else we have in that recollection.
Well, I mean, as you all know, I'm pretty well involved with, so you get to hook onto the sewer system that is overpopulated right now.
Do you just not have heard my facility report?
Yeah, and
What
I
we
talked to
just-
Kyle myself.
What we had is just got awarded our sewer expansion, which we will be doing the lagoon expansion, which goes along with everything else that was facilitated from the engineer's report to handle what we have for development coming at us now,
So-
as well as the present.
So what happened to the recommendation of the state of getting all that fixed first before we annex?
What was that?
The state recommended you to fix your water and your sewer before you annex because you can't take it.
But our reports have went in for every bit of that, justifying every bit of that. We've done every step, every level. And as far as what we are right now on our sewer, the reports have went in and CMOM
The
report. Correct.
The-
CMOM has went in, the other reports have went in, everything that we've had, we went in. And we're waiting back for their answers.
I don't think you're gonna be impressed with it.
Well, and I think we will, because we've been in personal contact, but that's another conversation of its own. Anything further?
Nope.
Thank you. Anything further from any Fairgrounds Place? I do appreciate Wyona's comments. You know, there's a lot of involvement. Is there any more construction comments from the engineer or the attorney?
Oh, yeah, I have some comments. I'm gonna ask the board to, since we're not voting on this tonight, since it was brought to my attention that there's a few parcels on this fairgrounds annexation, intent to annex, that actually includes ag land. And those would be items I and J on page, I and J. And so we would amend this to provide for a new paragraph which says that the territory subject to this resolution of intent to annex contiguous property consists of agricultural territory as defined under the statute. And we would identify I and J as those items, because the Custer County Commission has to approve this resolution before we can vote on it. So the board needs to make that motion and we'll amend it to include that.
Okay, do I have that motion?
Yes.
We're not voting on the resolution, we're just voting to amend this draft before we submit it to the county, Custer County Commission.
I'll second that motion.
Hendrickson made the motion, Kramer seconded the motion. Further discussion from the board? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Yes, sir.
Just two things. When you were reading those tracts, you still have my name on Lesnick's tract, which I don't really want there, trust me. So if that could get, I talked to Gail about it the other day, I called
Well,
the
we base it
surveyor.
on what the county auditor gives us, that's what we have to go off of.
Okay, well, how can they get it changed? They are.
Go to the county auditor and tell them to change it.
We
I
called,
did call them, Mr. Weiner,
Yeah,
and it
That
was,
one's good enough for me.
yep, I did call them, and it's still that,
Okay.
as Weiner tapped.
okay. Other question? Thank you.
Mhm.
Other
Thank you.
question is, all right, say Fairgrounds Place. There's like, what, 7 or 8 people, individual houses, hell, I don't know how many, but it's about that. So if everybody doesn't agree to annex, or say 3/4 of them don't, and a couple of them do, what's going to happen? Is it gonna get annexed anyway?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, the resolution of intent will be approved at some point, I assume. And then there'll have to be a second public hearing on a resolution of annexation, okay? And if that gets approved, then the citizens from that area can petition to have it subject to a referendum vote. And the city would vote, and the people in that particular precinct, I would call it, a special precinct would be set up for those residences in the fairgrounds annexation. And then the city would vote citywide on whether, and then it's a 51% or 50%, you know, have to approve
Well, I
it.
think we'd like to have that happen.
And then if not, then somebody could litigate it, such as the attorney back there may wanna, may be doing that, going down that road, I don't know. But that's always an option too, for someone.
Well, as long as the whole thing is not just jammed down somebody's throat, says you're in, you know, or you're out, whatever.
No,
That's,
and that's what this public hearing's all about, to straighten the clerical stuff out, to get it out on your opinions, to straighten out the infrastructure and what's being done, what's being corrected, as many aren't up with the speed on what we've done in the last 2 years to bring that infrastructure up. So that's big on that part of it, and what we're trying to do to protect the community from being engulfed by development coming in and not being prepared for it. And I don't think that anybody has quite seen what happens when that happens. So I appreciate that. You have a question?
can we be voluntarily annexed in before everybody else? Or does everybody have to go in the same time?
We can accept your letter of intent.
Yeah, if you're contiguous, we can.
And then we would be,
We would do it
Legally
voluntarily.
annexed in?
If you're, are you all contiguous, there's nobody in
Correct.
between?
They're joined
Yeah,
by
you could,
okay.
Fairgrounds Place Road.
you could.
Could you clarify again about, on those 2 negvars that are currently ag, what the change in the motion, what that would be?
Oh, I can
Are you
explain
saying that land
I
would
think I can
change?
explain that. For tax purposes, those particular properties are taxed and as assessed as agricultural land,
Right.
which means before they can be included in an annexation with the municipality, the county commissioners would have to approve the resolution before we pass it. So this resolution that was just read tonight, there's not gonna be a vote tonight. What's gonna happen, then we'll amend it, so the resolution will accurately reflect and identify these 2 agricultural tracts, which is negabowers, I guess. And then we'll submit that to the county commissioners to approve. And then suppose.
But they would remain as ag, not
Yes, no, it's
Correct.
just based on the tax assessed, how they're taxed.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's why we have to do that.
Yes, sir, you have one more.
So to get this even rolling, you had to have 75% of the people on fairgrounds, correct? To even
Well-
to this part here?
No. No, where did you get that number?
Because I thought that's what you had talked about before, was you have,
That was for voluntary annexation, when we wanted to have the area.
yeah, you want
Okay.
75% of the volunteers to involuntary take them too, right?
Right, and so you wanna have a larger pool so you wouldn't dilute the percentage of the, it's actually based on assessed value and the registered, number of registered voters. Okay, 75% of the assessed value and 75% of the registered voters. that would be there. That's where that number came from. That doesn't really have anything to do with this. This is a separate, this is an involuntary annexation, not a voluntary.
Right, right.
Okay?
So when this first came about earlier this year, or this past fall, then it was to get the involuntary rolling, you had to have 75% of the properties want to volunteer,
No,
right?
no, that's not true at all. No. Voluntary annexation requires 75% of the assessed value and 75% of the registered voters to voluntarily put their property, become part of the city, okay? This is an involuntary annexation.
Right.
It has nothing to do with 75% of anything.
Because we didn't have a majority is why we're going through involuntary.
Right.
And so that's why it's costing the extra revenues now to go through with the public hearings, the commissioners, to go through and establish where we need to be, and then possibly go to a vote. Which, that's the distance we may have to go, and if we do, we'll follow that process. So, okay, anything further? Yes.
I would just like to say that a few years ago, I don't know how many years ago it was, when we looked at annexing this area before, one of the big issues with the folks that lived there at that time was their horses or cows or chickens or whatever they had. And so at that time is when we changed our ordinances and added an ordinance so that the people there could keep their animals. They could have horses, they could have a cow, they could have chickens, or whatever it was that they had. Because we feel like, I mean, we're not wanting to take away those privileges from you. I myself would love to have chickens in town, which, yeah, see, no. But anyway, it was for the people down there that we created a new ordinance so that that could happen. And we're not taking that ordinance away. I've been in many big cities, large cities, where you drive through and there's places that have horses that were incorporated around, and that's the way we want to keep it. We are still a community, a small community, with 4-H and with ranchers and with rodeos, and we want to keep that. That is who we are as a community, and that will continue to be that way.
Yes, sir.
If there's different people come on the board 10, 15 years from now, can they take that ordinance away?
Sure.
Not
Or
the
once you
zoning.
put an ordinance in, it stays, it's like
The zoning.
Mount Rushmore?
No.
The zoning, as far as being changed, Mitch can answer to that, but
The board can modify zoning. I think if I recall right, it might even take it has to go through planning and zoning, you may even take a public vote.
I mean,
Can't
you know,
remember.
kind of reeling us
But
in here.
typically, the board can amend once every year, they can modify an ordinance.
So patting our back a little bit here that we're gonna have our horses and cows because the
But you'd
ordinance
be
is
grandfathered,
in.
go ahead.
You have to remember, this isn't an ordinance, this is a zoning issue.
Sorry, yes, I'm sorry.
And zonings don't change. We can add more zones, but we do not take them away.
correct.
It's on the books as a zone.
So then it would
It would always be there.
Stay.
They'd
It
be
would stay.
grandfathered in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault for saying ordinance rather than zoning.
Because I was thinking ordinances come and go, just
Yeah,
like the
you're-
weather.
You are correct, yes.
Okay.
So is there anything further on this that we need to make a motion, Mitch, to table this resolution, or can we just end the public hearing?
We can
Defer it?
end the public hearing, come out of public hearing, and then just vote to send the amended resolution of intent to annex to the county commissioners for approval due to the agricultural territory that's been identified in the resolution.
I'll make a motion to come out of this part of the public hearing at 6:54.
Second.
Okay, motion by Kramer, second by Hendrickson to come out of this part of the public hearing at 6:54. and the rest has all been decided of where we're gonna go. With the discussion, we will be looking at what Mr. James had brought forward, and also doing that and have an answer for you also on them segments of it. I think we answered a bunch of your questions in what my presentation was and what we've done on our facilities plan, to what we've done, what we're doing with our infrastructure, to what we have done to prepare for it. So, and that was in the facilities plan, not so much in the annexation plan. So I apologize for that, but there are numbers to back that up. So
Can I get a copy of that plan?
the facilities plan is public information. It is on our website, and it is with DA&R also.
Okay.
I can email that to you too.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
What'd you vote?
To
Come out of that
Oh,
public
particular.
hearing
okay.
and to send it on to the
Gotcha.
commissioners.
All right.
All right, with that being said, then we're gonna go into item
Then we
B.
go to a motion to defer, send this resolution as amended to the county commissioners for approval due to the fact that it has ag land involved.
Okay, I have a motion by Hendrickson and
I'll
a
second
second by Kramer. Any further discussion?
And we'll
If
continue.
not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Appreciate you coming.
Sorry about that.
Somebody else reads along when you've got it tired.
You want me to read them?
I don't care.
So Linda can read this next one.
This is a long one. Which one is this pertaining?
This is Gumbo Lily.
Okay, if we'll bring this back to order, please. We're gonna go into the next public hearing. And if you have any further discussion, you may take it outside. Otherwise, at this time, at 6:56, we will start the next public hearing.
Motion.
Can I have attention, please? Thank you.
This is Gumbo
I have-
Lily?
Pardon?
Is this on the Gumbo Lily?
Correct. So I have a motion by Kramer,
Second.
second by Hendrickson, to go into the public hearing at 6:56. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, with that being said, please, we are going to have, where Kramer's gonna read this description, and we'll move forward from there.
Resolution 04-2022, resolution of intent to annex contiguous property. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Town of Hermosa has statutory authority conducted a study pursuant to SDCL number 9-4-1.1 prior to holding the public hearing required as part of the municipality initiated annexation of property. And whereas the Town of Hermosa duly appointed engineer ACES has completed the annexation study required by law, and whereas that annexation study is focused upon the platted contiguous to portions of the present boundary of the Town of Hermosa, all contained within Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 East, Custer County, South Dakota. Whereas those subject properties are within the area where the growth of the Town of Hermosa can be accommodated to provide for orderly growth and development of the Town of Hermosa. And whereas a map of the areas subject to this resolution is attached as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by this reference. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Town of Hermosa hereby declares an intent to annex the following contiguous territory. 1. The territory subject to this resolution of intent to annex contiguous properties consists of platted, non-agricultural territory as defined at South Dakota Codified Law 9-4-5 and South Dakota Codified Law 10-6-31 as follows. The description. West 1/2, southwest 1/4, northwest 1/4, southwest 1/4, lot H1 has shown on plat filed in Book 11 of plats, pages 322, and east 1/2, southwest 1/4, northwest 1/4, southwest 1/4, west 1/2, southeast 1/4, northwest 1/4, southwest 1/4, and west 1/2, east 1/4, northwest 1/4, southwest 1/4, all of section 29 in Township 2, South Range 8, east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota. Lots 4 and 5 of Bush subdivision located in the northeast 1/4, southwest 1/4 of section 29, 2TS, R8E, BHM, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plats recorded in Book 6 of Plats, page 152, and in Book 7 of Plats, page 57. Lot 3 of Bush subdivision located in the northeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 East, BHM, Custer County, South Dakota, as described in plat recorded on October 21st, 1975 at 1:35 p.m. in Book 6 of Plats, pages 152 in the Office of the Register of Deeds, Custer County, South Dakota, containing 5.013 acres more or less. Lot 2 of Bush subdivision, as shown on the plat filed in Plat Book 6, page 152, situated in the west 1/4, in the east 1/4, the southwest 1/4 of section 29, 2 T2S, R8E, BHM in Custer County, South Dakota. The east half of the northeast 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 of section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 East of the Black Hills Meridian. The south half of the northwest 1/4 of the northwest 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 of section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8, east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, containing 5 acres more or less. Lot 1R of Bush subdivision, located in the northwest 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 and the northeast 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 of section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plat filed in Book 11 of Plats, page 266. South 1/2, southwest 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 of the northwest 1/4, less lot H1, located in section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota. Number 4119. The southeast 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 of the northwest 1/4 of section 29 in Township 2 South of Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota. The southeast 1/4 of the northwest 1/4, less what? The OT TR's B and C of Gable subdivision, section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian in Custer County, South Dakota. 37.06 plus or minus acres, and southeast for 1/4 for northwest 1/4, less the TRS's B and C tract of Gable subdivision. Southeast section 29, tract 2, R8, 37.06, AC 0020802900000500.
Good job.
Okay. Okay. Lot BR of C and J subdivision, formerly a portion of Lot 1 of C and J subdivision, located in the southwest 1/4 and the northwest 1/4 of section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plat recorded in Book 12 of Plats, page 96. Lot C of C and J subdivision, formerly a portion of Lot 1 of C and J subdivision, located in the southwest quarter, the northwest quarter of section 29, township 2 south, range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plat filed in book 12 of plats, page 96, DOE 4118. The west half of the northeast quarter of the southwest quarter of the northwest quarter of section 29, township 2 south, range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, containing 5 acres more or less. West 1/2, east 1/2, west 1/2 of section 33 in township 2 south, range 11 east of the Black Hills Meridian. West 1/2, east 1/2, west 1/2 of section 3. Northeast quarter, east half, northwest quarter, northwest quarter, northwest quarter, east 1/2, southeast 1/4 of section 4. East 1/2, east 1/2, west half of section 9. All of section 10, all of section 11. West 1/2, west 1/2, northeast 1/4, northwest 1/4, southeast 1/4, southwest 1/4 of section 12. West 1/2, northwest 1/4 of section 14. North 1/2, north 1/2, southeast 1/4, northeast 1/4, northeast 1/4, southeast 1/4 of section 15. North half, south half of section 16, all in the township 3 south, range 11, east of the Black Hills Meridian. Track A of the northwest quarter of the northwest quarter, section 29, township 2 south, range 8 east, Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota. Lots 17, 18, and 19 of Track C of Gable subdivision located in the northwest quarter of section 29 in township 2 south of range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Plat Book 9, page 5. Lots 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, and 22 of Track C of Gable subdivision located in the southeast quarter and that portion of the northwest quarter of the northwest 1/4 east of Old Highway 79 and the northeast quarter of the northwest quarter, all in section 29, township 2 south, range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota. Lots 1 through 10 of Track B and lots 4, 8, 12, and 16 through 22 of Track C of Gable subdivision in section 29, T2S, R8E, BHM, Custer County, South Dakota. Track B, including lots 1 through 11, both inclusive of Track B of Gable subdivision located in the southeast quarter of the northwest quarter, that portion of the northwest quarter of the northwest quarter situated east of Old 79 and the northeast quarter of the northwest quarter, all in section 29, township 2 south, range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota.
Doing okay?
Yep, I'm fine if everybody can understand me, we're good. Lots 4, 8, 17, 18, and 19 of Track C of Gable subdivision located in the northwest quarter of section 29 in township 2 south of range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Plat 9, Book 9, page 5. Track A of Gable subdivision in section 29, township 2 south, range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, consisting of 22.001 plus or minus acres, all in Custer County, South Dakota. Lot 1 of LN subdivision located in the southwest quarter and the southwest quarter of section 20 Township 2 South, Range 8 East of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown, plat filed in Book 12 of plats, page 174, DOE 11896. Lot 1 of Core Division located in the south half of the southwest quarter of Section 20 in Township 2 South of Range 8 of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on the plat filed in Plat Book 12, page 488. Lot C of CJ subdivision, formerly a portion of Lot 1 of C and J subdivision, located in the southwest quarter, the northwest quarter of Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 East of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on plat filed in Book 12 of plats, page 96, DOE 4118. East half of the northeast quarter of the southwest quarter of the northwest quarter of Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 East of the Black Hills Meridian, consisting of 5 acres in Custer County. Lot A in southwest 1 quarter of Section 20, Township 2, South Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, containing 1.14 acres more or less. Lot B in southwest 1 quarter of Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, containing 4.11 acres more or less. Lot C in southwest 1 quarter of Section 29, Township 2 South, Range 8 east of the Black Hills Meridian in Custer County, South Dakota, containing 2.54 acres more or less. 2, that ample and suitable resources exist to accommodate the orderly growth and the development of the contiguous properties as evidenced by the Town of Hermosa's current provision of many of the Town of Hermosa's services to the acres and consistent with the annexation study. 3, the estimated difference in tax assessment rate for the residents in the contiguous territory is 0.32%. That 4, that exclusions or irregularities in municipal boundaries lines are not the result of arbitrariness, but are based upon existing geological features, physical barriers, existing property boundaries, existing occupancies and uses, and existing municipal boundaries. 5, that there is reasonable present and demonstrable future needs for annexing the contiguous territories in accordance with the annexation study. And 6, that population and census data indicate that the municipality has or may experience growth or development beyond its present boundaries. 7, there exists a community of interest between the contiguous territories as described above and the Town of Hermosa. Now, therefore, be it resolved that as a result of this resolution of intent to annex contiguous properties, the Town of Hermosa has completed the first step to change the corporate limits of the Town of Hermosa so that same may be extended to include the above described properties.
Thank you, I'm glad you took the long one. All right, with that being said, I know we've had a conversation with Mr. Gable that some of this will be changed as far as how it's listed with the
Lots.
ag.
Yeah, there's 3 paragraphs of lots there that we really didn't need to read because they're just the 1 of 22.
I was told to.
Okay.
But that's how they have it listed, and we can correct them then on that part again. Like you say, once a year you gotta go over there and straighten them out, it seems like anyway, especially with now the kids getting more involved, that's a good thing, so we appreciate that. This then, Mitch, will also be one that we'll have to go before the commissioners.
Yeah, we're gonna amend, the only one that's been shown to me as being ag land is track A of Gable subdivision in section 29. So that would be a separate sentence. We'll
You
make
should
that-
have 2 more.
Is there,
A couple more pages ahead of that one.
There's like a
Ahead of it.
Where?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yes, and on the second page, the east half of the northeast quarter of the southwest quarter, that's the second one from the top on the second page. And then there's an item, the southeast quarter, the southwest quarter, it's a really long one. Is that yours? Okay, so we've identified three of those paragraphs that would be.
There's 22 acres, there's 37, give or take, and there's 20.
I don't know anything about the acreage, but the legals will have to be identified to the county commissioner as being ag land, right? So that's what we'll do, we'll amend that. We'll take a vote after the public meeting to do that.
Good, thank you.
So it was the second one on the second page and the sixth one on the second page?
No,
Oh,
okay,
Yeah,
no,
it's
wait a
the
minute.
sixth one. Yeah.
Leah,
Yep,
Leah's
it's
the one
the
that
second
won.
one
Go ahead.
and the sixth one, so
And-
it's probably 8:15.
and then the other one is where?
Yeah. The second one down on
Third
page
page.
4. Nope.
Or fourth page, the track page.
Yeah, it starts
Second one
tracking.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
No,
Okay, with that being said, we are now, of course, in the public hearing for the Gumbo Lily property. So do we have comment on the Gumbo Lily property? Yes, sir.
Where are you getting your tax base off of? Yeah,
3.2.
I was at equalization yesterday, and the tax base for Hermosa is 14.325, and the county is 12.672. That's 1.65% increase.
What did you have?
We took an average based on there's varying property sizes and use compared to residential use.
But this is
In
the
town.
difference between in the city limits right now, that's your tax base. And the others is a tax base in the county. With that 1.65 increase, that takes one of mine, my house, raises my taxes just on one parcel, over $400. Is what they told me in Custer yesterday.
Each case will vary. We just tried to show an average of what it would be for the areas.
Yeah, but you're looking at raising my taxes between $3,000 and $5,000 a year.
So that'll be one point we'll go into, Danny, and we'll look at that for you.
And then would it be better to, like say, get your well finished, fixed, and get your lagoons, get all that stuff done before?
What's that?
Get everything, all your improvements done before you annex us in?
In the facilities plan, the numbers are based on that.
Yeah.
And so that's the base of what we're going off of and where we have for future projections of growth. And the growth is gonna go north. And that is in the indication of the next 10 years. So that's why we've got a plan for that, project for that. And when they did their study, that's what that study was projected towards. So,
How long are you looking at for water and sewer out there? We already got city water and our septics are working fine. So how long are you figuring it's gonna be before you get all new out there?
I'd say a year, you know, because you're not gonna go out for bids. We've already been awarded all the sewer to come out there. And so, you know as well as anybody, you don't bid now, you bid in the fall. And then they bid for the spring of next year. And so with our award of that, and like I expressed earlier, we'll go in on the water Monday and see where we're at on that expression of that part of it. Then that will express where we're at on that portion of it.
And on the sewer, are you gonna force us to hook onto it or what?
We're paying for that.
So you're gonna
That's in the
trench
project.
from the road clear to my house?
Correct. That's already been projected in the project. Everybody on Gumbo Lily, everybody on Gumbo Lily is going to be hooked up at project cost. That was already projected when we did the project, when we did the facility plan. Yes, sir.
Are we gonna get?
Did you have,
Go ahead.
can we bring this back to one conversation, please, Mr. Barnett? Can we please bring this back where we have the Gumbo Lily residents right now? And Dan had the floor. Did you have more questions, Dan?
And road maintenance, who's gonna be taking care of that?
That would become our responsibility.
Because what you got for maintenance in town here, you're taking on a lot more road
Correct.
you're gonna have to have somebody more to maintain it. I don't know what your plans are for that.
And we have contractors that we're using presently that will be expanded to use them areas also. So we've considered that already too. You know, and that's what we're doing in town now. We mag water everything. And that would be in a situation out there as we take it. So, you know, these are all calculations that we've planned on with improvements, and we know that's gonna come with it, but we also know there is gonna be more tax base out there. We also know there's gonna be more sales tax with the mine, pop hatches there. And who's to say in the next few years with the development, we have Dollar General now, what else is going to be involved in commercial coming out this way? I fully see a hardware store coming this way, the attraction of it, and our development and growth is only gonna go from there. So, but yes, we have considered that.
Well, I'm gonna spend more time at Custer, go through all mine to find out for taxes because, I mean, I'm already paying $10,000 a year or over now, and you raise it another $3,000 to $5,000 just to annex me in, it's not worth it.
Well, and we will be doing more also research. That's why we have the public hearing, is so we can find this out. That's what it's all about. It isn't we're out there to be the one against you. We're wanting to work with you. And like I expressed, we're just trying to protect the future of what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
If it develops around you and the infrastructure and the regionalizations happen, there is no more control. We're trying to put it where we can keep our community within reasonable rates on our infrastructure as far as our utilities. We're working really hard on that.
And you were saying you were working together with that rural water system?
No.
You're not gonna work with them?
No, we never were. We want to do our ability, where in the state law, we have a 3-mile jurisdiction to be able to develop, and we're exercising that right, have been, not wanting to regionalize. Like I say, they were, what was the number, $126 a month for 7,000
Is their
gallons?
user rate.
And then $4 per thousand after
I
that.
heard it was high, but what kind of water pressure you got on that new main that goes out past your mud bog track?
What's that?
What kind of water pressure you got in that new main that you just put in?
Down at the mud bog track is 32 pounds. So,
What's at the end there?
pardon,
Up at the end there at the property line?
22.
22?
But the plans is that they're going to remove the hill and come back farther onto that development and gain that. But, you know, we're also looking at, in the future, of putting another facilities plan together to bump our booster up to a 6-inch booster. So we have the fire flows also to go with that, and replace the 2-inch booster that we have on the hill now. So we have them projections also to go to that degree.
So your well that has the problem is the one that's up by the tanks?
Pardon?
The well you have that has a water problem is the one up by the tanks? It has the,
Right, yep, that we're applied for and have the WRT system that we're already going to be putting in. We have the funding, we're just waiting on the ARPA money, and then that'll be ordered and put in, and that well will then be online.
okay?
Anything further?
No, my main concern is the tax deal, so.
Yep, we'll look into that, Mr. Dable.
I just have one more quick one, and that is, will we realize the benefits of being in the city at the same time our taxes increase? Or are the taxes gonna go up while the city struggles to get everything in place? And like, you know, we might have higher taxes for a year before we actually have sewer and stuff. Or will they hold off on that until we're actually part of it and actually have it?
In my opinion, if it's annexed and done, then the taxation will of course change at that time. Like I expressed to Mr. Nelson there, that we've been approved for the sewer, and it'll be going out for fall bid, just like we did with the North Water Line extension. That it went out for a fall bid to work, actually started that winter, because it was awarded, and they went through it. We have an open winter, the contractors more than likely will do that also.
But after these hearings that we're having now, and this isn't a vote or anything yet, by the time all of these next hearings come forth and the vote, and we actually are annexed, is that when you're gonna start with the project, or you're gonna start with the project while this is all going on?
Projects are already in motion.
So it
We've
may all
already-
come together at the same time.
Correct. We've been working on this infrastructure project with the facility plan for 2 years.
I just remembered how the bridge went. And I'm thinking my taxes are gonna go up for 3 years before I hook to the sewer.
No, we started 2 years ago on the lagoon expansion, knowing there was gonna be development on the water, which we're hoping that plan will come through. We wanna drill a new Madison well, 2 miles off of 79, with a new tower, with a new treatment center, with infrastructure to come down. That's all in their hands right now, waiting to be approved.
I was just curious.
Thank you. Anything else from Dumbo Lily? Yes, ma'am.
What is 7,000 gallons cost?
What?
Oops, I'm sorry.
She's gone, I'm sorry, Danny.
The property south of Paw Patch,
Yes, ma'am.
it's 20 acres. I'm assuming that's agriculture,
Correct,
so that'll be grandfathered in.
correct.
Is there a limit on your cows or horses you can have?
In the ordinance, we have with residential ag, that there's an amount, and which is customary what agriculture is, so many horses per acre, so many cows, calf per acre type situation, like you would in your grazing. You know, and the reason that was put in, for some of you that remember, when Dwayne Smith lived down here, he'd have 50 to 100 head of horses over here, and not enough room for them to properly be taken care of.
Right.
And so them ordinances were in place, and they were in place back then, but just never enforced.
Right.
So they're following agricultural purposes on that portion of it. And that ordinance is on the books and able to be reviewed.
Okay, so over, under the Hermosa website?
Correct, ma'am.
All right, and, so you're putting sewer and water into the house, directly to the houses?
Correct. To the, right,
Not the property line, into the houses?
correct. Plumb to the houses.
So when you're gonna hook up all the water inside and everything? So it's gonna be no expense to the landowner, or?
It goes to the house is what we've done in the past, like when we did Second Street down here, where the lines came out to the septic tanks. The contractor went to them lines, found good line where it was solid, coming out of the house, and that's where he attached. Likewise with water.
Okay,
So that way it was provided to that point. If they find good line 20 foot from the house, then that's where it'll be attached at. So them locations and stuff were all done, and we did 7 of them on Second Street when we did that project, and we did the sewer extension when we went to Lazy R and under the highway and extended that infrastructure on that to prepare for development. And so every one of them is how that was developed.
okay. And another comment I wanna make is you've got in this paperwork 0.32%. It was discussed earlier, well then, if you increase some of these properties, taxes 4,000 to 5,000, you're putting people out of their homes, and that's not right.
Yeah, and
That
we
is
need to
not
look at
right.
that. That's what we need to look at. You
You
know,
know,
like
I
I
mean,
say, they went
zero-
with an average.
0.32% to me is a pretty damn low estimate compared to what he just said.
Right.
Pretty damn low for you guys to tell the people this.
See, and this, like I say, that's why we have the hearing, so we can get to the more facts, get the expressions of the homeowners, the property owners, and then we, as the professionals, will go back and dig in and get more facts then.
And will you pave Gumbo?
No,
No?
not at this point,
It's gonna stay dirt road?
not at this point. What, like I expressed,
Can you oil it?
mag water is what we do in
Mag water.
town,
Okay.
and that's what we would apply there is mag water,
Okay.
also on it, you know, in which we go right to gables now when we do that. And eventually, what we wanna do as we get the annexation, we get the more volume, we get more users, is chip seal everything. And that's where we wanna head and get to in our levels, because paving is an ideal situation if you can get grants for that. But at present, we want to work towards a chip seal, getting that design. We started that on Second Street. That's how Second Street was set up. We started with soybean oil and developed it into where it is, and then we started chip seal over that. So you can see how Second Street going down has turned in, and then eventually where we did the millings over the box culvert and around there, we want to chip seal that also and get it at least to the limits, and eventually that's what we want throughout the town. In my vision anyway. Further from anybody on Gumbo Lily? Yes, sir.
Just got one question on, what does 7,000 gallons of water cost in Hermosa right now?
What is $30 for 3,000?
We're at 31 for 3 is what how I figure it. And is it, what is it? I can't.
What's that?
Is it $1 for every thousand over?
$1 is what I thought it was, that per thousand over.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I do. I just.
And that's in the ordinance too, on that, Dan, on the website. But we're at that base of that 30 per 3,000 right now.
30 for 3,000, I already paid 40 for 3,000.
Yeah, you're out of time.
With the out-of-town user rate, correct.
How much is sewer?
Same.
Same as your water? So if you paid 30 for water, you're paying 30 for sewer too?
31.
So it would be $62?
Correct.
And if you don't want to hook up to sewer, you don't.
Well,
No, that's all part of it, is that it's part, the water sewer goes together.
No, I don't want to.
And that's part of the DA and an R, the state, on that portion of it, where they, even though it's an operational septic, they want them gone because of the ground contaminations. And that's why with the approval of what we got with DA and an R on our sewer line, to put it out there and to hook the homes up, is that purpose. And that's why it was figured into that purpose of it. So it's no cost to the homeowner. And anytime you're hooked into municipalities, it increases the value of your properties too. So that is always a win-win on that side of it. Yes, sir.
So I know the taxes have increased, but what about in town? Would any of the utility increase or taxes increase in town? That's
No.
already
No.
to.
No, we're already at our level now. And if we have increases, everybody increases.
And then the other comment made earlier about zoning, I have personally been in a situation where the city promised the zoning of ag, and they changed it on them and forced them. So I wouldn't say that's something that'll never happen, so just a caution there too, I have personally seen it. So I don't like to hear that, oh, it won't happen, it can happen, so I think that's something we need to be careful of.
When zoning is a process where if you're gonna go through
Yeah,
that,
but you get enough people on the board that, oh, I don't want animals out there, and they go against it, it happened. So that's just all I just want to caution. Cause things change, people get voted in, and get different ideas. I know you want to try to preserve right now the ranching and agriculture, but if you grow, I can see that changing, so that's just something, I don't want to get a false hope, because I've been in that situation personally.
We all hope that there's enough people that will volunteer to be on this board that have the like feelings that we have, that to keep the country community.
and keep the zoning as what it is. We work hard to get where we are, and we want that continuation. And in areas that you've gotten at too, there's also areas where they've built all around a farm and nothing has changed. So like I say, it takes a majority level and it takes a vote and a big vote of the community before that can happen. And zoning changes aren't an easy situation. So that takes a lot of involvement. So I have to,
Yeah, it means you all staying involved to make sure that doesn't happen. All of you that feel that way, all of us that feel that way. And, you know, as long as I'm here, I'll feel that way and be involved, if I can.
yes, sir.
Dan, Bill Kelly,
Yes, sir.
couple of questions. Number one, fire hydrants. I hope you're planning on that all the way up through there.
Yep.
Number two, when you tear out the septic systems, are you going to pump them out and fill them up with grout?
Correct.
Tanks? Okay,
They filled them with sand, gravel.
well, it's a grout setting.
Yep, right. Yep. So it's whatever state requirements are is what has to be followed with the
I
contract.
just want to make sure you guys,
Yep. Yep, that's what all happened on all of Second Street, so. Any further discussion on Gumbo Lily? We appreciate you all coming tonight. Same
Vote to come out of
situation.
executive session, or, excuse me, vote to come out of a public hearing.
Correct.
I'll second it at
Hendrickson.
7:35.
7:35, Henderson makes the motion, Kramer seconds the motion. Come out of the public hearing. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
And then a motion to amend the resolution of intent to address, have a separate paragraph dealing just with the.
Please, can we bring it back to order back there in the back room? Mr. Simpson, can we please bring it back to order? We're making motions up here. Thank
The
you.
motion is to amend the resolution of intent to create a new paragraph 2, which will identify the agricultural territory, and that this resolution of intent to annex for Gumbo Lily would be, as amended, would then be submitted to the Custer County Commission to approve the agricultural land.
So I have that motion.
I'll make that
Motion by Kramer,
Second.
second by Hendrickson. Further discussion? If being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Yes, sir, Mr. Barney.
Question, it sounds like the actual resolution isn't being adopted then tonight.
Correct.
So will those of us that are affected get another certified
Yes.
letter notice?
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll make sure that happens.
Thank you.
You just gotta pick up your mail, Greg. All right.
Okay, with that being said, are we ready for the next public hearing?
Yes.
So
I'll
we
make a
will,
motion
item
to
C,
go into
public hearing.
public hearing at 7:37.
Motion by Kramer, second by Schumacher. Thank you, sir. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Henderson, will you read this one?
Resolution 05-2022, resolution of intent to annex contiguous property. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Town of Hermosa, by statutory authority, conducted a study pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 9-4-1.1 prior to holding a public hearing required as part of a municipality-initiated annexation of property, and whereas the Town of Hermosa duly appointed engineer ACES has completed the annexation study required by that law, and whereas that annexation study is focused upon the platted contiguous two portions of the present boundary of the Town of Hermosa, all contained within section 30, Township 2 South, Range 8 East, Custer County, South Dakota, and whereas those subject properties are within the area where the growth of the Town of Hermosa can be accommodated to provide for the orderly growth and development of the Town of Hermosa, and whereas the map of the areas subject to this resolution is attached as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by this reference. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Town of Hermosa hereby declares an intent to annex the following contiguous territory. 1. The territory subject to this resolution of intent of contiguous property consists of platted non-agricultural territory as defined at South Dakota Codified Law 9-4-5 and South Dakota Codified Law 10-6-31 as follows. Descriptions: Lot Dale of McDermott subdivision, formerly a portion of Outlet D and all of Lot 1 revised, situated in the northwest quarter of Section 32 in Township 2, South Range 8 east of Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, containing 10.550 acres, more or less, as shown on the plat filed in Plat Book 11, page 93. Lot 1 revised of McDermott subdivision, formerly a portion of Outlet D of Lot 1, located in the north quarter of Section 32, Township 2 South, Range 8 East of the Black Hills Meridian, Custer County, South Dakota, as shown on correction plat, filed at Book 11 of Plats, page 93, in the office of the Register of Deeds of Custer County, South Dakota. 2, that ample and suitable resources exist to accommodate the orderly growth and development of contiguous territories as evidenced by the Town of Hermosa's current provision of many of the Town of Hermosa current and planned services to the area and consistent with the annexation study. 3, the estimated difference in taxation rate for the residents in the contiguous territory is an increase of 0.32%. 4, all land included in contiguous territory are platted and defined. All exclusions or irregularities in municipal boundary lines are not the result of arbitrariness, but are based upon existing geographical features, physical barriers, existing property barrier boundaries, existing occupancies and uses in existing municipal boundaries. 5, that there is reasonable present and demonstrable future need for annexing the contiguous territories in accordance with the annexation study. The need for the proposed annexation of the contiguous territory consists of properties which are currently receiving some municipal services or which can reasonably be expected to request municipal services with future growth and development of the community. 6, that population and census data indicate that the municipality has or may experience growth or development beyond its present boundaries. Based on population and census data, the Town of Hermosa has been experiencing a population growth since 1990. Past growth indicates a trend of 2% population growth increase annually. This demonstrates that continued growth and development in the area will need the Town of Hermosa to expand beyond its present boundaries. 7, there exists a community of interest between the contiguous territories as described above in the Town of Hermosa. Now therefore be it resolved that as a result of this resolution of intent to annex contiguous property, the Town of Hermosa has completed the first step to change the corporate limits of the Town of Hermosa so that same may be extended to include the above described properties.
Thank you very much. Even though you got the short one.
I appreciate that.
Okay, was there any changes on this one?
No, there's no ag land on this one.
Okay. With that being said, public input from anybody that's in the McDermott area? Yes, sir. Good to see you tonight.
Yeah, good to see you, Dan. Greg Barnier, I own Lot Dale, and I want to ask one question about all three, and then I had a couple other questions about those on this resolution. I think on this resolution, there's about 13 acres that's involved, but I was curious, it seems like the rest of it involves maybe 300-400 acres. Would that be true, or isn't there any actual figure of that that's been, I mean, with all of the other parcels coming in? I was just curious.
I thought there was only the three parcels.
No, there's only 13. I meant on the A and the B resolution. If those other properties were 200-300 acres.
Oh.
I mean, it just seemed to me, what's that?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I was just curious, but I guess
We'll have to
I'm trying to figure it out, but, well, I did not sign to be annexed, and I do not want to be annexed into the city. I believe my neighbor Davina has maybe spoken with some of you in the past, so you would know her thoughts as well. I'm interested because, first of all, paragraph 5 of the resolution recites that there's an expectation that there'd be a request for municipal services. And I know that I haven't requested any. Is there anything in the engineer's report that identifies that somebody has asked for municipal services on my behalf? I'm not aware of it, but the resolution contains that language, so
Okay,
I was just curious.
no, and that'll be something that we can research on that too.
But that's not a requirement of that. That statement doesn't say that it's required, that you had to have requested it.
I believe the resolution says it's believed there's going to be there will be a request for services, or there's likely to be a
So
request.
if we annex you, you wouldn't want any services, right?
Not my point. I wanted to know if somebody on my behalf had said,
No, I don't.
oh, no,
I
we
don't
want
recall
municipal
anyone would ever
services.
speak on your
Okay.
behalf.
Okay. So as far as the municipal services that have been discussed, is there any date when there would be any new water service to, at least to my parcel?
There would be likewise, that within the year is when we anticipate. So, once annexation, we're in the process of infrastructure and everything else, so.
So does that mean then that there will be new water main or water service provided to Lot Dale as part of this plan?
Well, and as far as now where Mr. Preble lives, that service was already put in for water
No, I understand that. I'm
and
talking,
sewer.
and my
because
question
of
was,
state code
is there a date?
regulation.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
So is there a date for any new water service to the lot?
Has been installed when Mr. Preble moved in.
I understand. Any date for a new or improved type of water service to the lot?
Not that I'm aware of.
And it's kind of the same question for sewer. Any date for any new or improved sewer service?
Not from what is existing.
Okay. And as far as other services, I haven't looked at the map. Is there any date for any improvement as far as drainage or curb and gutter or anything like that for this particular lot?
No.
Okay. And I take it there's no plan for any paving of McDermott Street?
Other than what we've been doing with the mag water, the gravel, the upkeep, and we have done chip seal on it, and we anticipate in the future that we'll get to that accomplishment again.
And I misspoke on that because I should have said the portion of McDermott Street that lies within Lot Dale. Is there any date for any?
Well, and there's a
paving?
cul-de-sac platted in that,
Yeah,
that is on the end of that as far as a turnaround
Yeah.
for emergency vehicles. And
Mhm.
in my reference on that, eventually, that needs to be put back into that portion of it. And I did talk to your tenant, Mr. Preble, about that.
Mhm.
And at that presence, I guess Mr. Preble at that one point when we discussed, and maybe not now, had actually said he does have no problem with the annexation.
so that would be this improvement to the right-of-way and that cul-de-sac. Is there a date for that
No.
kind of improvement to start?
No.
Okay. I am only, Gail did provide me with a copy of the detailed study today. I haven't had much chance to look at it. It doesn't appear to show here on the map that's attached to the resolution. Roughly 2/3 of the parcel is in the 100-year floodplain. And is that something that, I guess I should ask is, I don't think that's reflected in the resolution. Is that reflected anywhere in the study that at least this property is, the majority of it's in the floodplain?
Yes, and nothing with the FEMA floodplains are being revised in any way.
And so my understanding is we're talking about annexing in this property for, apparently for expected municipal development, even though close to 2/3 of it would be in the floodplain. And you can see my point, it's not, unlike perhaps some of the other properties being considered by the town, this falls into the same category as the objection raised by Mr. Van Sandbeck that at least part of his property is, is in the floodplain, so. Let's see, and I guess the other thing I wondered about was, I wasn't sure what the circumstances were with law enforcement, but is there any plan for, increased patrols or any date for increased law enforcement services down in that area as a result of the annexation?
Well, we're under contract with Custer County Sheriff's Department, and they do their patrols.
So it would be this, pretty much the same as it is now, or will it be increased?
And their patrols, as many aren't aware of, are broke up. They're not consistent. You're not gonna see them totally during the day. They're gonna be broke up day, night, midday, school patrol. That's what they're doing. And then, as always, like we are in contractual with them now, they're on 24-hour call. Anytime we have a situation over here, they are on 24-hour call to come to us.
So what I understand is that there isn't any plan to change that as a result of the annexation?
We're in new contract discussions with them to see about increasing coverages, hours, and of course cost.
So will the annexation result in increased law enforcement?
We're looking at that for everybody.
Okay, well, what I understand from that is there's no real plan to provide any additional law enforcement, at least to my parcel, as a result of the annexation.
As there would for anybody else that's already in the annexation.
Okay.
Using the town streets to get to their parcels is what you are, the same situation.
So I presume all of this discussion, of course, doesn't go into the minutes. That's going to be published. Is there any recording of the discussion or of the meeting or any minutes that are available? Oh, there is? Okay. And I can contact you, Gail?
I put it on the website.
Okay, and I can catch you there. Okay. Well, thank you for hearing my objections. If you have any questions, I'm glad to respond. If not, I know you got a lot of other things to take care of.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the McDermott? Okay, if not, we can close this public hearing. Also, and with this resolution now, with it not having to go to the commissioners, we can make a motion to accept this public hearing resolution.
You could, I just assume do it all at the same time, so we don't have separate elections.
Okay? That sounds fine.
Just hold this in abeyance pending further hearing.
Hold it in what?
Hold it pending.
Pending.
Abeyance pending further
Okay.
hearing. And then we'll have another meeting on this same resolution, just as revised, with the same notice going out. I want that to go out by certified letter and put in the newspaper again.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be after the county commissioners say yea or nay on those other two.
Right, okay.
So I'll make a motion at 7:51 to end this public hearing.
Second.
So I have a motion by Kramer, second by Hendrickson. At what time?
7:51.
7:51.
We'll just put in a motion to continue these, this resolution pending the Custer County Commissioners rendering a decision on the other two, and all of these to be conducted at the same time.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Kramer, second by Hendrickson, for this also to be considered with the other considerations of the Custer County Commissioners. Okay,
Custer County Commissioners don't have to approve this one, it's just from
until we have consideration
from a
from
practical
others.
standpoint, it makes sense to do them all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Because if there's a referendum, we don't need three separate elections.
all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Do you have a question concerning annexation?
Yes, I do. Jim Preston, I'm with American Legion and by association with senior citizens. And I apologize, I didn't realize we were part of the fairground place, and so I passed my opportunity up. So I'll go right to my request if I could. I've got a number of questions from people that I would like to get answers to, and I wonder if it'd be possible to meet with one or two of the board members and go through those, and so we can kind of give a better understanding of why you would want to annex American Legion and the Catholic Church. So if I could, I guess I'd like to meet with Terry and one other board member, or just Terry, and we could go through this and she can fill us in. So.
You can probably put them together, Jim, and of course, we're gonna have another public hearing. They could be discussed, you know, with the public hearing already being closed at a later time. If,
But I
really,
guess-
it's hard for the decision-making, of course, as you understand, without full board. And that's why the public hearing, of course, I'm sorry, that didn't realize too that you wanted to speak on the Fairgrounds Place portion of it, while we had that going on.
And what I'm just wanting is gather more information before we have the other board meeting, so I don't have to take your time at the next hearing. And so if Terry's willing to do that.
Who wants to do it with me?
I would be happy
Okay.
to.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I'll give you a call, Terry.
Sounds
and
good.
let
Well, you know where I'm at.
What?
You know where I'm at.
You want me to just go knock on your door?
Well, well, no, that wouldn't look good.
So we'll appreciate
I'll
that.
get a hold of you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that being said then, we can now make a motion to reconvene our regular meeting at
7:55.
7:55. Motion for that.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Kramer, second by Schumach to enter into our regular meeting. Any further discussion from the board? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you all. Okay, item number 3, call for changes. You've all reviewed the agenda. Anything on that agenda that needs to be changed from engineering standpoint, finance standpoint, or legal standpoint? Or board members? If not, motion to accept the agenda is read.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes that motion. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second by Kramer. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Consent calendar. You have the approval of the April 18th, April 19th, April 22nd, and April 25th special and regular meetings.
Make a motion to approve all.
I have a motion to approve all by Hendrickson,
Second.
second by Schumach. Further discussion? If being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 5, claims, review of payroll and claims.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Hendrickson, second by Schumach to approve. I have in discussion. It isn't. I thought it was. The only explanation is on tree stump removal. I don't know if any of you are aware of it and what happened there on that circumstance, but this isn't for the cost of removing the stump. This is the cost of the individual coming down, going to remove the stump, and paid his contractor's license, and then was told that he couldn't remove the stump by the homeowner. So we didn't feel it was fair to him to have to take that fee and time away from where he was booked to come down, and we felt that the homeowner had 7 days to let us be aware of that, and didn't. Otherwise, we'd have been more than happy to have worked with it. So that's what that circumstance is there. Other than that, later on in engineering, we'll discuss the one payout there also that isn't on here. So
So we
Oh.
can change the stump removal to
Just leave it.
mobilization fee? or-
Oh, yes.
So we'll amend that. Caption is all we need to do then.
Okay.
Okay? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you, board. Law enforcement. Is that still in here?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There he is.
How did I miss you? We appreciate you being, we appreciate you being here tonight. We're sorry for disruption that we had earlier, but it's in circumstances where we're going to stop the harassment that goes on, the rudeness that goes on in our meetings, and that's part of it. We are strictly going to follow our Robert's Rules of Orders from what we're doing. And just for your information, on the agendas from now on our sign-in sheets, there's a center column that says purpose. And all citizens will then be requested for, if they're here for an agenda item and want to discuss it, they have to put that purpose down if it directly involves them. If it doesn't directly involve them, then they will have their time to discuss what they may under citizen input. So we're going to also, under Robert's Rules of Order, follow that from this point and protect our professionalism of our board as well as our professionalism of our professionals. So we appreciate that and appreciate your attendance. And part of this is going to be that we're going to request that we would like law enforcement to be here at each one of our regular board meetings. We're not expecting special meetings, but we will be wanting that attendance at our regular board meetings, at least till we get through law enforcement and into that segment of it. If we feel that we're gonna have anything else for public hearings or any other type of situations that there may be some involvement that we need you to be here for, we will discuss them with you, make you aware of it.
Okay.
Thank you. We received their log, and I believe, did you guys?
No,
I
no,
got page
that's,
2.
that was because the printer went down.
So we had the log, if you need to review it somewhere. Here. And then we also have committee report. Anything to report, Sam?
Not at this time.
We are still working with the Homeland Security Grant. We haven't heard anything on that. With the log, we're also awaiting the contract for Custer County. We had that meeting with Marty and Mark with the commissioners was here also, and so we went through that. Hopefully we'll have some answers back from them, and then we can further review that once that comes about. Anything further for law enforcement? Anything concerns, questions from the board? Anything of that nature that you've heard? Or in Neighborhood Watch, we did discuss a little bit there that we did have somebody that burned out here on the roads the day that we had cleanup here on a Saturday, which was such a short span between 2 o'clock and 2:30 that day. And one of our trustees had just left the site, and I was down doing some cleanup along the railroad tracks and came back within a 15-minute time to see that he'd burned out up here, went up 3rd, went around Folsom, come out on 2nd, did it at 2nd, come out on the main, hit it again at the school, hit it again at 79, and then down 79. So, and miraculously nobody, they heard it, but they didn't get a description or who it was that was doing it. So, but that was on a Saturday, and that's the only thing. I know we discussed the school, that I know it's tough for Matt to get here because he's doing Hot Springs. And this morning, you know, once again, he pulls in when everybody's in school, and which it's still the crossing guard's going, the lights are still flashing, so the efforts are still appreciated. And then he'll usually do a round through town, which a lot of people don't see. and the patrol. And then today I see 2 other patrol cars come through. Kyle was going out, and then Matt did his loop and then come around too. So we do appreciate the exposure.
And I always show up a little bit early if I have the afternoon school patrol scheduled, and I always drive around town a little bit even before that, just in addition to the other times I'm in town, so.
Yep, we appreciate that, so. Anything further for law enforcement? I thank you for being here tonight, once again, and I think it's gonna be a calm night the rest of the night, so if you have other duties, we'll appreciate it, and you may be excused.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you being here.
Take care now.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to legal.
I still haven't gotten any word from Ms. Kruger. I called her, I emailed her, I think they're just ignoring me. Which suggests they don't want to do it, but I'll give it one more shot. She's with the state's attorney's office.
Okay, that'd be appreciated on that part of it. Anything further under legal?
Nope, unless it's on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item number 8, engineer. Do you want to run through them, or you want me to run through them?
I can hit the ones that I'm a part of.
You go for it.
The water rehab project, I believe we're still awaiting the results from the water test. Is that right? Chuck, have we
We
gotten
were
it?
gonna use the ones that we had from before.
I guess the big thing that they're saying with the WRT system is they need a fresh sample.
Right.
Because the radium does change from when we tested it last to now. And I don't know if we have any tests in at all that would do that. So we do need that. I guess that is an urgency.
Okay.
So we would appreciate it and put that on the agenda.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So the Hermosa sidewalk project, I think there was information in there from Interstate on
Yep,
it.
and you see that, we're gonna need a motion to approve, as you see in that, or I should say, we looked at it. He has what he's got in here for the estimated engineering cost. I had wrote down whether we needed to approve this now, that he has submitted another plan, that we're all in approval of it. The plan, of course, has been reduced, where with the budget numbers, it's gonna go from the school to 2nd Street and then 2nd Street to Highway 40 for the next phase, as I understand it.
He did want approval tonight on that work order.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Kramer, second by Hendrickson. I know it's tough because of what we paid up front already for the approval, and now we've got to redo again for another approval. And it makes it really, to me, DOT should be the ones picking up this portion of it since of what took place, but
Let's ask.
I know. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Further?
The sewer project or lagoon expansion, there's no update on that with funding just being awarded.
And there is a letter in here expressing that. And I was gonna bring that out in the hearing and then didn't grab the letter, then we had been approved. But as you see in here on the letter, that the resources approved $698,600 as a revolving fund loan, $375,400. We're a part of the ARPA money, the federal grant. The term of the loan is 2.125 at 30 years for that monies. We do have that meeting Monday with Andy Brule at 2 o'clock.
Here?
It's a Zoom meeting,
Yep.
it's a live meeting, yeah.
Yep. So we will ask that everybody be there. We'll post that a quorum will be present, I'm assuming, and we were hoping that way Terry would be off work and she'd be able to attend. And then I hope Vicki can make it, so we'll have that. And then you'll be coming down here then with us?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay, and Daniel? Okay, so we'll appreciate all of that. We're gonna ask on this, we were eligible for up to 80% of this project, as many other communities were, and we were only awarded 30%. And it's upsetting that there was $600 million extra that could have been applied to a lot of other smaller communities also to help them out in these trying times, and lowered this. And you know, we appreciate the 30%, but I felt all the communities should have got that bump to the 80%. So the parts that did get it were rural water put in, Southern Black Hills, for a $3,100,000 and some thousand project for their extension. And they got $3 million in grant money. They got 85%.
Aren't they supposed to be nonprofit?
They are. So that was one that upsets me because of all the other communities, not us, all the other communities, so. All right, I'm sorry.
Item D, the water and sewer facility plan goes hand in hand with the meeting on Monday, to continue discussion on the water portion of it with DANR. And Bill Lass will be there from Black Hills Council of Local Governments as well.
Will he be coming here? Or will he be in
He'll probably
his
do out of
office?
his office.
Okay.
So item E, the Town of Hermosa Water and Sewer Extension Project. They have completed the work and you have approval, or you have change order 2 to consider tonight for additional seating area on the project. If there's questions or concerns with that, they, exceeded the area anticipated in the plans by a substantial amount. They did negotiate some of it down for unit cost and area coverage based on conversations I've had with them, but it's still an net add of $16,983.75 that they are requesting payment for.
I would like to meet with them. I drove the area.
For seating?
Yeah, and what they expressed in here, the bid was at the 3,225 square yards on it. And I feel the area that they had behind Shorbs, that they borrowed the material for our new easement there, and built along, shouldn't be included in it. I feel they were wider than what we needed to be by Dollar General. Coming down through there, they could have contained it just to our easement and to the slope of Shorbs, and that would have been it. So other than that, I feel the rest of the project should have been at what she estimated it, and that they shouldn't have taken the extra area. When it gets into the mud bog track, there was a lot of excess material that got spread wider than what would have needed to have gotten spread and moved, and so they, I feel, went with a lot larger area there than what they needed to also. So I think we need to still renegotiate that, maybe meet them on site if Evan wants to meet, go through it and look at it, and I feel there was maybe some added costs, but
I anticipated some additional costs, but I never would have anticipated an increase of that with no discussion prior to them doing the work.
Exactly.
And then just wanting to get paid for that amount over seems excessive.
So they have done the work?
Yes.
Without approval.
Right, of this ad, so they obviously, before they seeded, they brought enough material to cover what they anticipated doing. So they had to have known it was gonna be substantially more, and it was never mentioned. It was just seeded, and then this huge amount gets submitted. So, I think there's still room to negotiate with them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I anticipated maybe $5,000 more than what we had, not 16 grand.
No, right now.
That's a lot.
No.
And also, there's the aspect that Leah brought up, that there is still warranty too. If we don't get 70% coverage, they will be back.
Regardless of any of that, but.
So they did good work, don't get me wrong, we appreciate what they did, but it's a matter where I just can't, I've struggled with that, so. So we'll have that.
You're gonna table the
Table it.
change order too? Okay.
Motion to do that.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kramer, second by Hendrickson, that we'll table it until we have time to meet with them, go through the site and express it.
I'll request a meeting with
Thank
Evan.
you. Thank you.
The only other item I was gonna ask Chuck, on that was a punch list item, was that RCS had to review with, Chuck as a public works person, if there were any questions regarding the function or location of any of the, utilities installed, but.
Will he be back?
Yeah, he left his, I don't know. I think he might be walking in right now. He's in, yeah.
So we have that motion, we have a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. We have some questions for you, Mr. Ferguson.
Alrighty.
Part of the punch list on the water and sewer project is that RCS was required to review all the project items with you in case you had any questions or concerns on locations or use or function. Were there any remaining questions that you had that you were waiting to clarify with RCS?
No, not that I can think of right offhand.
Okay.
I'd like them to return my hydrant wrench.
So that's one item.
Yep, hydrant wrench.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I checked it off of their punch list item.
Because she wasn't sure if you had any questions on valves, hydrants, anything of that location, which you were pretty much on site with all of that when they came through the last flow test, pressure test.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Okay, item F is the Hermosa Hills drainage.
I'm sorry, but
Go ahead.
if you do think of something, we're setting up a meeting when you were outside to review the hydroseeded area. We don't agree quite with what they
I
had.
can't imagine that there was that much area missed. I mean, that's pretty substantial, isn't it?
Well, it is. And that's why we don't agree with it, but if you think of anything else, let us know as we're gonna meet with them. Okay? Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
Hermosa Hills drainage, I don't have any update. That's been, the updates or revisions or improvements are still remaining.
Anything from you, Mr.
Well, I
West?
didn't know if Trent had gotten a hold of Leo or not. He's supposed to be doing that, so.
He was at a meeting, a special meeting about it,
What do you need from him at this point?
That
just to
was when-
complete the field work that was
Yeah.
agreed upon.
That was when you guys were out of town. You were
Yeah.
just coming back, I believe.
Right. Well, I'll touch base with him tomorrow and make sure he's doing what he's supposed to be
Yep.
doing. I'll have him contact you.
And if you need an update of what we talked about with the culverts and what they agreed upon and the seeding of the ones that aren't in the first phase of that was pretty much what it was. And then before the gravel, then the graveling, he was gonna do that. So there was that list that he said he didn't have a problem with. And
Okay, I'll call him.
said as long as he had your checkbook, he'd do the work.
Okay, perfect.
Further.
Okay. The Whitney Street drainage, I don't have any update on that. And the Hermosa School Certificate of Occupancy, that letter was sent as requested, to the school and the contractor. That temporary certificate of occupancy would apply until the site was complete. And the Fifth Street repairs that were agreed upon were completed as well.
Any questions on any of that? I and Gail had also included an email to Mr. Burgess about the chip seal, and that I had a conversation with Simons, and on that was that they had recommended that the areas that are disturbed and that have holes should be patched prior to the entire thing being chip sealed. And had they considered doing that and what their process was, and we had not heard anything back on that comment. And then also we had expressed that we would like to remove that berm and excess material along the sidewalk out prior to the chip seal, and that we know would be at our cost, but that we would like to do that and then chip seal to the sidewalk, which we know there would be some of our cost. He expressed in his letter that they were going to do 26 foot width. I went down with my wheel, and 26 foot is right almost on the sidewalk to the edge of what we've chip sealed now. So that would take that whole area. And I measured in a couple areas up farther, there might be a foot difference is all, but the rest of it at 26 foot encompasses that whole area. So whether they're intending on that, or maybe if that was a misquote, you know, because it's actually a 24-foot top, and in some spots a little less. So we're hoping they will get with us, and then we also mentioned that Simon said they hadn't signed a contract yet to do the chip seal, and so they weren't aware of whether they were doing it or not, to get it in their schedule to get it done. So I'm hoping they'll get with us, meet on site, and then we can go through it and do it right. We don't want it to be something that we're gonna have come back and bite us, as happens in many projects. So if any questions, let me know. Thank you.
That covered item I then, the street repair?
Correct.
Okay. The Roy's Drive-In sewer line, I've submitted a question or clarification to DANR for an on-site wastewater treatment, compared to when they have to hook up to a municipal service. So I'm just waiting on clarification on that before any additional steps are taken.
And you all seen that letter that she put together? And so with that being said,
Posted through tomorrow across Oklahoma and Missouri. I posted the dangerous weather moves in Arkansas,
Put the ball
Louisiana,
game on.
Mississippi.
We're gonna get some rain.
it's gonna hit us hard.
I thought it was Linda for a minute there.
The only thing with that letter that goes to
did the
Roy
letter.
that we want to be sure of is, like we talked a little bit about it. He already has an easement to go over to Marie Street.
Yeah.
She, in her letter, has expressed that it will be an extension of the main with a manhole, then to hook up to his property. I don't know in the letter if we should express that if he wants to work a deal with the contractor to install his sewer line, that if he were to contribute the monies of what that value of that would be to the project, and they were gonna do the sewer line, then it would be welcome to work together with them on that. And it, for example, if it's $30,000 to run the extension of the main, set the culvert, and then for him to be hooked up maybe another 10,000, contribute that to this, so it's not a whole situation where they are the ones that have to foot the bill on the whole thing for that portion of it, and then for his portion of it. Because if they abandon that section of that development and go west instead, that's what he's going to have to do to be able to hook up. They've had 2 years that the state has asked him to hook up, and he's been on a holding tank. So he's beyond the requirements of where he needs to be. So that's where this situation comes down to, and it's not to hold hostage, it's what the requirements are gonna be per engineer. And the letter is pretty straightforward. We don't want him to think we're threatening him, but we want him to understand that's what's gonna happen if they go to the phase going west instead of finishing up where they're at on phase 2.
And I might say, if I can, Dan, that I would be totally agreeable with what you just said. Yeah, his demeanor, as you know, has not been very, over the last 4 years or however long the drive-in's been in, 5, 6 years.
Right.
So, what you just said, I would be okay with.
Be an acceptable agreement.
Yes.
So that's what I think we want to include in the language, that the developer is willing to work with the contractor on that expense.
Yeah, the main purpose of the letter from the town is just informing him, written notice that he would need to connect, and that's what I'm getting clarified with the state, is that he would need to connect, being where the property is located. We provide recommendations of what a standard connection would be, but we don't tell him he has to do that. So he has his own options to figure out then.
Everybody's good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Item K, the waive staff report fee on permit 2022-07. I don't know that one.
I'm not sure why I stuck that under engineer, but that was the,
Oh, on that permit?
mm-hmm.
Yep, and what it was is that it went to you
Mhm.
for approval when it had been pulled on P and Z. And so we didn't feel that it was right that I be charged for it at that point of time. Since we went a different direction, we put it on P and Z for discussion that night.
Yeah, we only discussed it, it was added to the agenda for discussion. It had not gone to ACES at that time. And at the end of the meeting, he did pull the permit, decide to go a different direction.
So how did it get to ACES?
I'm sure it was just accidental.
So Gail did it? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I'm saying
No,
it was
but-
a lack of communication
Just
between
tease it.
all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just teasing, Gail. Okay, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Schumacher, second by Kramer.
Yep.
Further discussion, being none, all in favor say aye. And against, and all abstain.
Okay, item L is the facility plan for booster and water meters. We talked about that a little bit earlier, to look at putting together an
Yeah.
option to go back to the state with.
So what I'd like is a motion to allow them, Mr. Ferguson and us have for years been talking about the automated meters and going to that route.
We have.
And there may be the possibility there's some monies out there
Mhm.
still in the ARPA money that we could use to apply to it. The gentleman was gonna be coming this week?
No.
No?
I
Okay.
I didn't get an email today, so I've got that on my list to give him a call.
And so when that happens, if anybody cares, we will make sure everybody's aware of it, to
Mhm.
come in
Okay.
and have the knowledge of what it is and where they're at and what they're doing on that portion of it. So that is one part of it. The other part, with what we're doing with the expansion of Hermosa Hills, with the expansion of Lone Coyote, with the Gumbo Lily, we want to make sure we have enough for fire flows. And so also we need to look at putting a 6-inch booster in to be able to make sure we have that ability to provide that line. And so that would be also something that if we're gonna get it in on the fall, we need to go on it now and get it put into DA&R for a facility plan to go in for loan grant to be able to have that happen. The 2-inch isn't enough, and what it'll involve is that Chuck did some work on Dakota Pump, and it won't fit in our present vault, so that will require a new vault, and then the 6-inch, and then be plumbed in, which we already have the 6-inch line there existing. And then that will, of course, then take care of that. In that process, we talked about a gravity line to Folsom, but we can, I feel, do that in-house with Mr. Ferguson, and that they could dig that down from the tower, from the valve, to Folsom, court and have them on a gravity line there to be able to have that to where we're in good shape there instead of it goes down to Main, up Fifth, and then Folsom Court. So that one we won't worry about, and we'll deal that in-house. And that'll be something down the road, because we've got more to discuss under that. So I need a motion to allow ACES to put together the meters and put together the 6-inch booster to be able to go to DA&R with it. And she'll work with Mr. Ferguson and whomever else to do that.
Make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion. Do I have a second? Second by Hendrickson. Further discussion? If being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, board. Anything further?
Nope, that's all I have.
I think other than that, we'll move into planning and zoning. You have your P and Z April 26, 2022 minutes. Everybody had a chance to review them. The next step is item B, permit 2022-10 subdivision plat application, Lone Coyote subdivision. We have a few questions that were brought up by ACES on the staff report. I'll let you maybe go through them a couple, or do you want to have, I say thank you for Ian being here and John and Polly, appreciate that.
I think the only one that I had a remaining question on is I worked with Joe from Runner on it today for the lift station and the sanitary sewer flows that were calculated. And I think we worked through all of the questions I had. I just wanted to make sure that the lift stations didn't need to be revised with the new denser layout. So I think that was the only question I had hanging, other than what's listed for other basic items in the staff report. And we had talked about the warranty that was submitted was based on 2 years from when it was operational.
Correct. And what we had, when we did the Ferguson subdivision down there, I don't know how many of you remember, but he was required to maintain the lift station until the development was at a 3/4 completion, and then it was then taken over by the town then. And then roads and that, and each phase were also taken over in that portion of it also. So I had brought that out, that I thought that we should probably, instead of the 2-year warranty from when the first home was built, be where 3/4 of the first phase is completed, then the warranty starts. And there's 23 lots there. So the similarity would be close to the Ferguson development, and then fairness and the precedence that was set up on that particular warranty. I know Leah had put examples in with these folks on it, that normally it's, you know, a 2-year from the first house being built, and then we take it over. So that was just me that brought that up for discussion, so that you can decide what your feelings are on it too.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on that a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So 2-year warranties is longer than the typical 1-year warranty. If you go any further beyond that, requesting warranty it does not take effect until 75% of the development is complete. That's going to be an incurred cost that the contractor is not going to just eat. He's going to pass that on to John Preston to pay that warranty cost. And so that's just something that should be made aware, that warranty doesn't come without a cost.
And I know that's what happened with Mr. Ferguson also, is that he was in charge of that portion of it as a developer, and it had to contain it. And he didn't, knock on wood, have any problems. I mean, everything went smoothly and was good on that, but it was all education. Yes, sir.
That's not entirely true. Both pumps went out prior to the end of the warranty, and they were $3,000 apiece, so I had to replace both of those pumps before the warranty ran out.
And that was what you remembered the agreement at also? Okay. Yes, sir.
It seems kind of excessive, Dan. There's 40, you said 23 lots, there's 39 in phase one. I mean, who knows when 75% of those are gonna be sold? I mean,
Right.
could be 10 years. So, you know, the 2 years seems reasonable for maintaining the lift station. But if 74% of those sell and the balance did not sell, we'll be maintaining that lift station forever.
Any comments?
You know me, I have to be devil's advocate here. So if you're not maintaining it, that means the town's maintaining it, which means that everybody else in the town, their taxes are paying for that when they're not living out there. You know what I'm saying here? Am I saying that correctly?
I'll get to you in a minute, John.
Sorry. So it's both ways, you know? It's not fair maybe to the developer, but is it fair to the citizens too, you know, that already, you know, have their services?
So that's part of the developer's agreement with the city, correct? Is that after the year or 2-year warranty, the city takes over the infrastructure?
Correct.
That's pretty standard. I don't know if there's, do you have something that stated otherwise, that you can change that warranty at any time? Is there a defined statement of what that warranty is? 1 year, 2 years?
And I don't know, go
Well,
ahead.
on subdivisions like this, being that there's no set agreement, that's when a developer's agreement is created for a subdivision this size specifically, and those developers' agreements are unique to the situation, to the development, being that, you know, not all subdivisions would have a lift station, so that's where the board would dictate what they're comfortable with for the warranty based on the best interest of the town. That's where we came up with the 2 years from when it's online. Just so in the case where, say it gets all put in and then no home is built for 5 years and then it gets put online. I mean, that does protect you for that amount of time. It's just after the first home would be online, it was 2 years. And that was a board kind of request.
Right.
I would say a town board request at that time to get it to this point. So that, no, there's no written document or ordinance stating what it would have to be.
Because my other questions were answered were, when we got the report that there is a generator backup with it, and so that took a big relief off of that portion of it and comforted it. What else was there? Oh, on DOT right away. Now, did they ask for a turning lane on that or anything?
They did not work with Steve Wiggy on revising the permit based on the additional users or density, and they were still okay with that access as is.
Okay, that was my other question. Another one was the tip. Are you still gonna do a tip?
Working on that.
Because that should come in with the preliminary. That's what we did with Custer County Housing when they did their tip. So that it was all proved together, and then we had the developers agreement that came in with it. And then everything was worked through on your preliminary plat then with that tip. So we had the boundaries set, we had everything set on what the infrastructure was gonna be, roads, all the approaches, everything. And that's all designated in that tip. And so I questioned with Leah, had we approved the preliminary, then that means the TIF won't come into effect on the preliminary of the first phase. It would be the second phase, because it's not included, and it's already approved. And if there's a bigger boundary, where that boundary were to go to Lazy R or, and engulf some of the areas in the existing TIF, or look at an overlay, then that I was always made on the understanding had to be done before the preliminary, before passage of that. Now that, I don't know if you learned anything more on that, or
Well,
if it was
haven't
prior
seen-
to the Mylar.
I haven't seen the TIF request, so.
I guess we weren't aware of that, that it had to come in at the same time.
I know all that time we worked with Custer County Housing, that was the big step with Kent then, is that he wanted the two together along with the development agreement to bring in before the preliminary
Are
plat.
you talking about Ken Hague?
Yeah.
Because he's the one that was our town attorney at that time and helped walk Connie Gorsuch and all of them through that at that time.
Well, I don't want the TIF to start when phase 2 starts, because that might be, what can I do to get the TIF in place?
And I should have called Kent today. I didn't think just to do some research on it and make sure. Because I don't want to do something that's going to stagger that.
Well, we're working on the boundaries tomorrow. And I don't know how long it will take him to get a TIF request. It's quite a large area.
Should we try to call Kent and ask him that question before we approve it?
Either
With-
you should table it.
Conditions.
Either that or, yeah, either that or table it.
And tonight, you guys are pretty much looking for approval on the prelim.
Well, we can start construction once it's been approved by the city.
With the prelim, correct.
And that would have to be 2 weeks.
Is he up?
Is there any way, seeing how we're having a meeting on Monday that's probably gonna have a quorum, that we could add that to it if we can get the information from Kent by then?
That would probably be okay, huh?
If you make it a special meeting, before it wasn't gonna be a special meeting.
Does the board approve that?
I do.
You're okay? You're okay? You're okay? Is that okay with you guys?
Didn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we were just.
That we'd have a meeting Monday with DA and R, and then we would set up a special meeting to approve this, and that gives us time to make sure of the TIF and the prelim. Is that soon enough if we approve it Monday?
I don't know if Kent can get anything put together by Monday. Is that what
Or-
you're talking about, is getting
Is
the
there-
boundaries?
Or is something changed where the prelim can be approved before the TIF boundaries are established?
Yeah.
I need to know that.
Oh.
My understanding before was that you couldn't.
It would give us the time to get the information from Kent.
I don't either. So, what, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock Monday?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, that's here.
And we would have your meeting at probably 3.
So, I guess I'm trying to understand the order of operations of why that TIF would need to be in place prior to the approval of the prelim.
Because it spells out the developer's agreement of the development of everything that's going to be created and followed through for roads, infrastructure, the lift station, we know we have all the paperwork here. And then what your responsibilities in that TIF are, as well as the boundaries. You know, is it going to, we assume, take the whole development, and how much more other area is it going to attach? Is it going to attach the mud bog? Is it going to attach Shorb's pasture, Heartland storage? You know, is there language in it that it's going to be able to overlap? And the existing TIF that's in place now, when it expires, be able to overlap that and take that boundary in also.
Obviously, I can't tell you if Kent could be here Monday, but
I don't know if the TIF would really change that though. Wouldn't change it a preliminary plat.
I don't understand why they have to come in together and why we didn't know this sooner.
Yeah, because everything that went through I'm just off of Carriage Hills, so when we went through that was a long process. And we didn't do the preliminary until we had the TIF and the developers agreement in place. So then they could go for financing and establish where they were at in that portion of it.
but Leah, you're not sure that that has to be in place?
Well, just based on like what a TIF, I mean, you can set the boundary anytime, and as long as you don't plat these officially, and rezone them before you would, you know, create the TIF boundary.
Before the final plat?
Yeah, you should be fine, and this,
Good.
you know, staff report and your, you know, letters and all of these conditions are pretty much your developer's agreement that you're getting approval on.
Right.
That would just be rolled into your TIF.
Right.
So I don't see it holding up a preliminary approval tonight of the plat moving forward. As long as all the conditions, you know, that they've submitted are approved by the board.
Are you okay with that, Mitch?
I have no opinion, I haven't even looked into it.
Bitch!
I didn't know if you worked with TIFs before.
No,
Typically,
I've never
just
worked
from
with a TIF.
my experience with TIFs is the reason that you do have the TIF together with submitting is that you get the financing before you pull the triggers and start developing. That would be why that TIF is in place up front. But to Leah's point and to what my thoughts are is that they don't necessarily need to go conjointly like this.
And their financing's already
And the
secured.
financing is in place.
That makes sense, because Custer County's wasn't. So
No.
that would be the big issue, where you guys were trying to, at that time, apply with First Western or
It's
one
been
of
so
them.
damn long ago.
Yeah, First Interstate. That makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure, I don't wanna overstep some boundaries here.
So that's good. Where are we on the warranty though?
That's what I was gonna ask, are you okay with the 2-year warranty?
I'm fine with 2 years.
2 year.
2 years good, okay? Then, like I say, on the right of way, as you read through the permit, Ian answered my question. I thought there was gonna be a turning lane on 79, but they're okay with what they're doing right now with this process, so that part will be okay. Generator's been answered, that's all part of that. Anybody else have any questions? The zoning?
That would happen, after, or with the plating, to rezone or choose your zoning. But I think in the letter, you're gonna indicate it as being that ag residential ag, I think.
Right.
But that'll have to be officially, you know, decided and requested.
So we're okay there? So then all your staff report notes are good. So we can make a motion to approve for your staff reports
Yes.
as revised.
This staff report wasn't revised, because this was a new permit.
Yeah, 'cause the only thing I noticed as I was going through it, that you had, plans have been provided and are attached. You know, as I was going through,
For understanding.
yeah, where your recommendations are.
Oh, that's if, that's if, the revision would have triggered the lift station to be revised. But based on clarifications with Joe and their calculations, it will work. So yeah, it would be the revised based on comments from tonight.
Okay, yep, that was my whole situation. Any of the rest of you have any questions? Motion to approve per engineer's staff report.
I'll accept.
Hendrickson makes the motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumacher. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We're off and running. Thank you. Any other questions from you folks? Anything else?
Yeah, I should bring up a comment about the DANR. They have issues with the current existing sanitary extension to the development. I believe it's at the drainage crossing near the box culvert. And they brought that up with the review of our plans. They're good with approving our plans, but they are not good with the downstream section that is out of compliance. Now, I don't know what the results of that will be because I haven't got the official letter back. But that is a comment that Mark McIntyre provided to me today.
Yep, we've submitted another response to Neil, I believe, out of the sanitary system.
Did you guys see that?
Based on that stream crossing that they're questioning. I haven't received their official response either on that,
Okay.
so. I anticipate it to be approved, working through these non-typical conditions.
Yeah, that's the primary thing that we did.
That's holding your approval
Correct.
up. Okay.
Well, in this response, we've asked for a personal come on site and see that it's not a stream bed. It's when conditions happen where we have a 3-inch rain, the water runs down to the middle of that alfalfa field, as it always has, and it doesn't erode it away. And I don't think they quite understand that portion of it, on how that is laid out and set up, and that she's went above and beyond the insulation to the encasement where we're at for the needs, as well as specs of City Rapid City are even more stringent, so. So we're anticipating that, we're as anxious as you, that be resolved. Anything further?
That's all my items.
Thank you all for your time and sticking around. Sorry it was such a late night.
Thank you.
Okay. Then we have item C, is a permit 2022-14 digging, grading, Mount Rushmore telephone, fiber optic, telecommunications.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion on the floor by Hendrickson,
Second.
second by Schumacher. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I did miss one thing on the P and Z minutes. I think that was supposed to read in that first paragraph of 2022-10 subdivision plat application, won't tie up and goes through, and it comes down rezoning Preston clarified for phase 2. Should that be phase 1?
Yeah, he'll need to rezone phase 1.
Phase 1, that a second access point will be off of Highway 79.
That needs to be phase 1. You good with that?
Yeah, we haven't approved those yet, so it's not a big deal. We can do that at our meeting.
Change that? Okay.
Does that
Is
sound?
it rezoning or the access?
So is that 1 or 2? You need,
Are you talking about access on it?
yeah,
Oh, no, that's right. The property owner will need to submit application for rezoning as part of their
So phase
First part.
2 is that part, so it goes with the zoning?
No, that's a separate sentence. I think that's just a break. Preston then clarified for phase 2 that a second access point will be off of Highway 79.
Okay.
So
So
this
the
is
second
separate.
access point also comes off 79
Yeah.
for
Which-
phase 2.
But I think isn't that Murphy Road? That's their second access in to that subdivision. Well, they'll use
And
Murphy
that's
Road.
what I forgot then on phase 2, was the Murphy Road. Will we address that in phase 2 then?
Yeah, because there's nothing to talk about as far as for phase 1.
Because we had, Pennington County, of course, maintains that road now. And their concerns are that that is paved when that second access comes in. With the amount of traffic that will be in and out of that. And they've agreed they're gonna pave all that inside the development, so. Okay, I stand corrected.
That's okay, leave it.
Yep. Okay, Public Works.
No. There's, the street signs, there was, Gail and I was discussing that a little today about the stop sign and speed limit sign on Marie, Walter, and Marie.
Well, yeah, because it's coming in off 79 by Dollar General. That there was going to be a stop sign coming out of Dollar General, a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit there. Then it goes on to Walter, and then there was going to be a stop sign coming out of Walter to Lazy R, so we're covered both ways there. And then another 15-mile-an-hour speed limit on Marie, and one coming out of Marie. There was 3 speed limit and 2 stop sign, and I don't believe we put a 3rd stop sign on Marie, or did we?
We did not. Mm-mm. Not at this point.
No.
I know in a couple of those different situations, the county came down and put those markers in, and the yield signs and that kind of stuff, so maybe we should contact them to see if that's something that...
But they're in our boundaries, they're not county road.
Well, they've done it before, in the city limits.
They've done that around town, put in their, after we put in all those street light signs, they came in and put theirs in.
I can check with them, see what they say, otherwise we'll have to order that stuff. I think I've got one stop sign, maybe a small one, I don't know. There's about 3 different sizes of those that you can get.
Yeah, and we want medium size to be fine. I think coming out of Dollar General, and about the normal of what we have in town.
24 by 24s are
standard.
Yeah, it kind of depends on if they're approaching at 70 mile an hour or 10. Signs have got to be bigger for the speed that's coming to them.
Right.
I think with Dollar General, it's so open there that I think that a small one would not be good enough. I think we better have at least a medium there because it's just so open.
They don't pay too much attention to them anyway. So,
But for liability purposes,
Yeah,
they come
right.
pulling out and smack somebody with signs there, so.
yeah. Have nothing on street lights, everything is, I think we still have 1 or 2 in stock. On the water, we had one of those booster pumps that had a leak, and we took them back and they have increased by $300 since we bought the last ones.
Oh my goodness.
So we still have, I think, 3 in stock yet. As we discussed the time before about where we're gonna run that water off of the new well up there.
And that'll be something we'll talk about later. Get together and then we can bring it back to the meeting.
Yeah. The changes have been made on the booster. However, we discovered that the 6-inch valve that I had in stock was gonna be for the lagoon project, and that those plans got changed. So we used that valve up there, chopped it in after the booster station, because when we changed it over to gravity feed for Folsom, that would not isolate the booster. So that 6-inch valve was not in the original bid for changing that out. So basically we had the gland packs and that stuff also, and there will be a 90 and a repair coupling and some stuff that needs to go back for credit. So we're closing that
Yep, that's what he
today.
said.
Today.
50% done.
Yep. Yep. So there were 2 boosters added. Actually, there was 3 that were added.
Correct.
And so I think that's it on water. Sewer, I had to go back and pick up the pipe because Negabars are going to seed that field. So we went back in and picked up all the irrigation pipe, and they have it seeded now. So I don't know what the plan is, you know, if they want water or don't want water or whatever, you know, those high winds bought us some time, big time. We had white caps on there like Angostura. So,
Nope, we'll deal with that, and if that comes, you'll just have to make sure you got all your testing done, and that way we're in preparation for it, and if you do some communication with them, find out if there's an anticipation, you can do the testing now and have it to where we're ready.
right.
That'll be appreciated.
The land application, I don't know where we're at on that.
I think that can be removed.
Okay.
They have not ever come back with another proposal to us. They said they weren't willing to sign one. And the last time we had communicated, you talked to them a little bit and thought maybe the kids had a second opinion.
Well, I think there's some stipulations in that they probably don't like, probably is what it's at. I think probably I could renegotiate that and come up with some kind of an agreement because, you know, we have to have something.
Well, and if you wanna have them come in and talk with the sewer committee and you and pull that contract, then you guys can talk about it, see what's good, and then we bring it back to the board.
Do that.
Thank you.
D was pertaining to what?
That's just been on there, that probably can be removed as well, as long as you're doing the daily readings and
And that's something that I requested that also, that with Mike coming back down, do flow test, that working with Jill and having them daily reports is huge, so that she has that spreadsheet put together when he walks in the door, she can punch it, bring it up and say, this is what we're working on, this is what we're putting together. So it's very adamant that we have them readings daily.
Being done.
Excellent. And that way the girls have them in possession and they can follow that through.
Yeah, that covers that, and that booster pump fittings and that stuff, we just discussed that, there'll be
Yep.
some stuff to go back, so. Anything else you wanna add?
No?
We're good.
Okay.
I just want to say thanks to Chuck for coming right up. We had a loss in the water. He dropped, ran, dug. Him and Chuck too got it exposed. In the meantime of what they've done has created where a bunch of the loose material is broke loose because we fixed the inlet side, we fixed the exit side, and now he's fighting contactors, he's fighting starters. We have pump number 1 that won't start. That's why we put the boosters in the homes up there so they weren't without. We've been on this for 12 weeks trying to get this situated back and forth and waiting between Dakota Pump and Temtech to get him some technical help on that stuff. So that's where we were and that's what we've had happen. He'll come in with an invoice on it for putting it together and filling it back up. They still have work to do on the boosters to get them up and get them put together so that we're back in shape again. So like I say, I thank them. I had compliments from the residents up there on how professional Truck 2 was on installing them, his professionalism, his information, his courteousness. I mean, very good. I was very happy about all of that. So nothing but positive results all the way back. Anything further, Mr. Ferguson?
Not.
Oh, thank you. Item number 11, Finance Officer. Yeah, we'll have
Later.
no, because we're gonna have to rediscuss it, the land application. So we'll have that still to go through.
Sorry.
I think everything else is just about gotta remain.
Okay.
So far, nothing on engineering comes off.
The way the staff,
The way the staff report
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So motion to remove that one.
Okay, make that motion.
Kramer makes it, second by Schum. Mark. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll try to get through this and get everybody home.
Yeah.
Next, Finance Officer.
okay,
Yay.
yeah. The 2021 annual reports is in the packet. What this is just the page that gets published in the newspaper. I have the full report here if anybody wants to look at it. The end of the year, with all 3 funds, it was like at $1,036 in the bank with 885 in general fund. South Dakota fit 137.6, and then Edward Jones at 19,000. The annual report balanced out, and we're good to go. If you guys approve it, I need to get it to legislative audit and get it published in the newspaper.
I'd make a motion to approve and give extreme thanks to Gail, because I know she was terribly frustrated and having a terrible time. But she overcame and got it.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumacher. I have to say thank you to Gail for the Saturday, Sunday work hours that she came up and finished this up. I'm glad Mandy come down and helped her. I went through this with a fine tooth comb. She brought it to me Saturday, and concerns because I pick them apart and worried and wanted to know before we got to this night whether there was anything that I was going to bring out. The only thing that I feel we need to do different is the 19,000 we've got an investment in there, that it needs to be removed and brought into our general fund. We don't make anything off of it. It's not an investment that's good. Gail agreed that we don't have any good that comes from that.
It doesn't grow.
I appreciate where she explained some stuff that I even learned, and I never you continue to learn all the time. The software that I thought she created, or was created by Shanna or whoever, is created by the legislative audit. And on the bottoms of the lines for check and balance, she asked the question, how do I know my numbers are correct when I'm putting them in there, that I've got it right? And on the bottom of every column, it says yes, 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 yes. And in this full report, if you come up to go through it and review it, it has that stated on them line items. And so that way she knows that every single one of them lined up and came through. And so I was impressed by that, that we learned something more about that. And the detail of the report that she put together on the position is very well done. I have to, my hat's off to you.
Thank you.
Everything I looked on that, and I mean, she sweated bullets getting this thing done and worried about where and how to balance it out. And it came together well. I have to say, it came together really well. So thank you for your hard work.
Well, good job,
That's
Gail.
a lot of
Good
work.
job, Gail.
Thanks.
A lot of work. And it's a kudos, because if something is turned into the state on this,
Yeah.
and we forced an entry, and they come back on us on this, it's a ding that doesn't go away. It's just like when we do our yearly audit, same way, where we have that carryover and carryover and carryover. So by her politically making everything correct and having Mandy help her do it was a ticket that the two of them teamed up. She found one little item and Gail plugged everything else back in and it all came up. So it was a great, great situation all the way through. I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to approve and allow it to be moved forward.
We did that, just motion, we're waiting to vote.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All
And that
right.
can be removed.
Okay.
That motion also,
Sure.
Hendrickson and Schumacher.
Yep, you bet.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
So to help Jill and I streamline the process of citizens coming in and asking for documents, and it's not like somebody walking off the street and saying that they need a copy made or something like that, but it's more detailed things that some citizens have asked for. I noticed on the listserv, that the finance officer's listserv, that some towns have this request for information form that when a citizen comes in, they'll fill out this form and then we can document what it is, and we don't have to do it immediately. We can take, and if, like say today, I was balancing the checkbook, and if somebody would have come in, I more than likely would have dropped everything in the middle of reconciling or something like that, and then I'm all discombobulated. And so this will streamline the process of citizens coming in and asking for certain documents, whatever it might be. But I took this from a Timberlake, South Dakota's listserv, and what we will do is what I'm asking you to do is approve this, and we're going to be charging for the personnel administrative fees, and then obviously we've always paid or charged for copying and scanning and things like that. And then it also gives us up to 10 days to be able to provide the citizens what they need, rather than just dropping everything immediately and getting it to them.
Do it.
Do it?
Just do it.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay. We don't need a motion.
You can.
Yep, I want a
motion to
motion to
approve.
approve. Hendrickson makes it. Do I have a second?
Sure.
Second by Kramer. I think it's a great form. I think it will help the office more efficiently, and it's a better paper.
And it gives you time to question whether or not they're entitled to the documents.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
10 days is good.
Do you think that an hour minimum is actually needed? Or could it be a half an hour minimum and just keep track of the time it takes you to do whichever, anything over the half hour? I mean, an hour to me, I mean, just sounds like a lot for some things people ask for. On the other hand, you might be asked for something that's gonna take between you and Jill a couple hours, so you have to know how long it takes, I understand, but
And they can
I'm
use
just
their
wondering
judgment.
about that minimum. An hour just seems quite a bit.
What's the charge for an hour?
25.
Why don't you just say minimum charge of 25? Or is that what you're gonna charge, period?
It's
I don't think it's unreasonable for an administrative cost of $25 to pick up a document. That's fine, hell, doctors do it. The charge is hundreds. 25, is that what you're gonna charge for everything?
I took this off of
Oh,
Timber
right.
Lakes, and
Right.
it's $25 per hour, 1 hour minimum.
Yeah, I would just put a minimum fee of, I don't think you, yeah, I don't think that's a problem at all, really. I would leave it like it is.
And if you wanted to remove anything and would be the minimum. So if somebody comes in and it does take you a half hour, you have the ability, if you wanna charge them less, but anything that you and Gail do together,
There's an hour.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
there is never going to be.
Yeah.
I have not
That's a
seen
good
a time.
Good deal.
So I think it's okay.
Leave it as is. Mhm. Okay. All right.
25 cents a page, you bet.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Why do you have to charge sales tax? You don't charge sales tax, do you? You don't pay sales tax. It says plus sales tax, what is that? You don't need that.
No. Oh, on.
For cropping costs?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, maybe, no, you don't, do you?
No, we don't.
No, I don't. We just
I
take.
think so, so take that off.
Okay.
Oh, sure, that last back page.
Yeah.
One item. Okay,
Where'd you get that from?
if you guys.
Timberlake.
Timberlake's legally charging.
Illegally
I'm calling
charging
Vicky
people.
would probably like you to take a look.
Hey, you're good
Yeah,
at that.
I know. We'll get back up.
Rock their world.
You're
Thank
good
you
at
both
that.
for
So
some
many years
patience
you've been
and
doing
stuff.
this, class action.
Yeah. Just wait.
Have been to Timberlake?
Where is Timberlake?
Way up
A
north.
long way
Way
up there in the sticks.
Motion to remove that off the agenda.
Yes.
Hendrickson makes it, second by Kramer. All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Old business, we had the annexation, Gumbo Lily Fairgrounds Place, we went through all of that. We'll just leave it alone. Town signs pending, deck staining pending, library deck staining. The mud jacking, I did go through this list, and every spot that he pointed out is bad. I would just like a member to walk it with me and look at it too, and agree, and then bring it back to the board next meeting.
I'll do that with you. Let me know when.
So it's a matter where we'll take and make a copy of this. Do you have a copy of that yet? We'll keep that copy and then have that. Anybody else wants to walk through, we can.
Oh, then it's a quorum. Only two.
Correct.
We can do it one at a time or two at a time.
It's good. It's over.
Okay, so that's all we have in old business. We'll move into new business. Did you have something under new business?
No, for the old business. What is mud jacking?
That's raising concrete, raising decks, and what they do is drill a hole, push pressure under it with either foam or mud. Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. New business, we have the malt beverage liquor license operating agreement. We went through that, and with what we've had now, with the previous agreements we had, we're going to move forward with new agreements. Them new agreements now are going to be where we're basically charging a yearly fee. That's it on malt beverage. It'll stay the same on the alcoholic
There's no
beverages.
operating agreement. We're not gonna have operating
Correct.
agreement.
No operating agreement.
What do you mean by yearly fee?
300.
For the beer license? And no
That's it.
other fee, that's
Nope.
it?
That's it.
Nada.
So we all decided that's a fair situation. And then with the alcohol, we have 3 of them, 2 of them, of course, in usage. And then will remain the same other than when we do the reviews. I believe there's gonna be a change when we reviewed that because of volume difference and what you guys is out there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on mine?
Yep, yep, because your gross revenues have went up, so it kicks you into another class.
Can I ask a question? Have
Yep.
you updated those numbers? What, that
And we'll go
$1,200
through where,
threshold?
you guys don't renew until, what is it, the
First of the year.
Yeah, so by then, we'll look at it and then we'll have more clear understanding. We will give you plenty notice before, so you're aware of it. Because it'll be the same with corner pantry and everything up there, so.
Who are you? Which one is yours?
Lazy Art.
Okay,
We've got the restaurant liquor license.
right, okay.
So with that being said, that's what we're going to do. Motion to approve that new situation or where we're going to change our policy on that and move forward.
Before you vote, the current agreement we have, or the fee that we pay right now is good until our license expires, or
Correct.
the original agreement?
Correct. So I have a motion
Do we need the motion?
No,
that we're gonna redo the,
I mean, you can, I suppose, just so there's a record of what we did.
and the ordinance change.
But basically, any malt beverage wine licenses are not gonna require an operating agreement.
Okay, that's the motion.
It's a $300.
I make that motion.
$300 fee, and I think the renewal's the same. I'm not sure if it's 500,
300.
300? Okay,
Yeah, we just have,
so that's what it would be.
that's the one.
300,
300.
300 for the renewal, yeah.
that's it.
That's
No
it.
other, no other charge.
I think
Well,
they-
you were gonna look
I
at,
think the Department of Revenue considers it, it's still a new license, so it's still 300.
Yeah.
You were gonna contact them on the renewal.
I did, and she didn't reply.
Okay,
She,
300.
So we-
she didn't reply back.
Well, is that intentional, or maybe she's busy?
Probably busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been 300 a year.
300.
Yeah, for the last 15
She'll
years.
respond.
And Keystone, that's what they do, 300
Yeah.
renewal, nothing else.
Right.
so
Right,
we'll
like
leave
you
it
have
at
Leah's
that, and if she
movie.
comes back differently with a different answer, it won't be till the next renewal
Yeah,
anyway.
Right.
okay.
So 300.
So I have a motion by Schumach,
I second it.
second by Hendrickson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
No operating
Motion
agreements
carries.
for selling beer.
Motion to remove that off the agenda.
Make that.
Second.
Hendrickson makes it, Schumach seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Yeah.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
The food pantry lease approval is still pending. The next one is a sad one.
Oh, can I interrupt on that one?
Yep.
I know, we're.
I'd just like to give you what happened.
No, you didn't.
Go ahead.
So, the new lease, they've changed the name to Hermosa Fairburn Food Pantry. They just brought it in today. I need to fix that and put it
Oh,
everything.
on the new lease?
Mhm.
On the lease? Oh,
Yeah,
Did I give that to you in a Word document?
yeah, I think you did.
So
So I
you-
can go in and do it just to research and replace it
Yeah.
all. And then Deb Grismer came in and said, do they need to be at the next meeting? Does it need to be reapproved? And I told her that it did because
Just
it's,
have her sign it,
well, the president.
whoever needs to sign it, and then we'll approve it at our meeting. 'Cause we do
Okay.
have to make a vote on it.
We do, okay. Okay, that's what I told her. Okay.
So, yeah, so did you look through it and if everything's
I've
good?
drafted it. All we're doing is changing the lessee, right?
Yeah, mhm.
That's it.
And the name.
Correct, and, right. And we need to have 2 desks removed out of that room because they want to move in as quickly as possible.
We're
after
just
the-
gonna move them into the lobby area
For
there.
now.
How soon are they gonna move in? Because she had told me July.
I know that's what
Yeah.
she said, that's what I said too, but then they came in today and they said they want to move in. They'd want to move in now, but I said we can't, we have to wait till the next meeting to approve the lease. And so they want to move in right after the May 17th meeting, as quickly as possible.
We have to get a
We
fridge.
have all our bike stuff in there right now for the rent a bike program, which is the 14th and the 21st.
They'll have to wait
Well,
till
then
the
they can
1st of
wait.
June.
They can wait till the 1st of June.
And
Yeah.
after the 21st, then whatever's left, we'll take it all down to storage and be out of there. But
And we'll have the muscle
Well,
to
why
move
don't-
them out, and we're gonna put them right against this wall.
until then, it's.
I'll just let them know, 1st of June, right?
1st of June.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll leave that alone, we'll be okay on that. I'm saddened by item C. Had a good talk with him. I'll miss Bob bad. And it's official that he will not longer be with us on that part. Gail checked into the election results stuff on it. If Bob were to still get more votes than what Linda or Bobby did, then he's still going to resign it. And then in that situation, whoever gets the most votes out of the two will take the position, and then we will reappoint whomever don't into the position to follow it for a year, and then at the end of that year, then they will rerun for another election. So that's the process that Gail found for us, and we'll have on that part of it, so everybody knows it.
Yeah, Bob was running for the election, right?
Right.
So he's withdrawing from the election.
Right. Well,
And so how many people are, how many are up for election?
3.
Who's
2
running?
seats,
2 seats.
3 people running, except for that Bob is, if he gets the votes, he will resign at that time,
Okay,
Again.
gotcha.
again.
You can't resign, you can't just not count his votes.
can't.
No,
Yeah,
Can't.
because it's already been done.
Okay, I believe you.
Motion to accept his resignation.
I'll make that with regrets.
Hendrickson makes it with regrets. Second.
I'll second.
With regrets. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item that can be removed, appointment of BOT Vice President. I would like to appoint Schumach as Vice President,
I'd like to second that motion.
so we have somebody we can get on the signature line if you'll accept it. I make a motion that nomination cease, and I have
I'll
a second.
second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Nay?
Motion's carried. So that way we can get a signature card set up, and that way if something happens, or I'm not around, you can sign payroll or whatever
Well,
else
at least
needs
it'll
to
be signed on time.
And if I'm out of town, you've got to run.
Are you gonna harass Gail Knight, or what's up here?
A motion to remove C and D of new business.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes it. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumach. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 14, items from citizens.
Just a question I forgot to ask when we were talking about liquor license. We collect 5% or pay 5% on all of our purchases still?
Yeah.
We're operating on the same terms?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else? Appreciate you guys hanging in there as hardcores with us. Been a long night. Trustee input, Hendrickson,
Too many.
Schumach,
Ditto.
Kramer.
Good job.
Oh, I do have one thing to say. Chuck, I really do feel bad for the fact of the way that you were treated earlier.
Oh, yes.
The comments and stuff that was made was totally unnecessary.
Yep.
You kinda gotta consider the source.
We do, but I
appreciate it.
appreciate you hanging in there.
Anything further?
No, I'm good now.
I want to thank all members for staying as late as they did tonight.
Hell, this is early, really.
I promised that I was going to keep control,
You did a good job.
and that we will continue to work as a team to do that control, to take rudeness away from our professionals as well as our board members. And I didn't mean to stand up and go at him, it just, I did
It's
not
gonna be
want
on
to.
the Facebook.
Yeah, he was recording.
They were recording that.
But it's just a matter where I'm sorry it was directed,
It's
I'm
gonna
glad
go
we
viral.
had
As long
law
as you
It's
didn't
enforcement.
only
touch it.
embarrassing
You
himself.
Right, no.
You did, it's gonna be on YouTube.
Does he have
But
a
we
job?
had law enforcement here,
Said he
and
was
that was
an engineer.
appreciated, so.
I'll see his license.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say then from there that,
Who raised that kid?
Wednesday, tomorrow, at 2 o'clock,
She was standing.
Dollar General is, got a meeting with us. If anybody wants to attend, she could post a quorum, but it's over the drainage landscape finishing of Dollar General and finish that up. We had Elmer Claycomb, that responded, which we haven't heard from. And he will be there along with that Jesse will be there. So we'll continue to do that.
I will not be there. I already have an appointment scheduled, otherwise I would have been at.
And I plan on being there, so if you can find, if you
When is
can,
that?
2 o'clock tomorrow at Dollar General to go over the drainage and completion of their landscaping. So, other than that, like I say, thank you all. Thanks, Mitch, for being here tonight.
That's fun.
Joan, you got one more comment?
Exciting.
No.
Okay.
Never, don't know.
Motion to adjourn at
I'll make that.
9:30.
Second by Schumacher. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.